welcome to Only Comics. I'm Mike. That's Adrian.
What's up, man?
What's up, bro?
It's pollen season.
It's pollen season. It's Only Comics season. It's
grilling
another day
season.
in the neighborhood,
Yep,
dude.
It's all that stuff.
It's humid. Is hot ball sacks out there? I mean, it's feeling like an oven up here in New England right now,
Yes,
and it's
is.
early in the morning. So,
Yep.
well, anyways, another thing that's coming in hot today, Adrian, is motherfucking Only Comics.
Yes,
so we just hit. So shout out. I want to shout out to all of our TikTok fans and followers, Adrian. We get a lot of love on TikTok.
Okay.
We get a lot of hate on TikTok. We get a lot of everything on TikTok.
Sure.
But we just hit this past weekend, dude, on Saturday, we hit 100,000 TikTok followers. So shout out to anybody that found us on TikTok. I think we have 12 followers on YouTube. No, I'm just kidding. but you know, we started this and TikTok was kind of that funnel for the YouTube. So I know a lot of our weekly watchers, the guys that, you know, AWAB, shout out. The guys that are watching the full podcast, most of them came from TikTok. So shout out to 100K on TikTok. And if you are, that being said, we are getting a lot of new people checking out the podcast. What blows my mind sometimes is there's people that have been following us on TikTok forever. And then randomly they've been like, oh, wait, you have a podcast? Well, where do you think we're getting these clips from, dude?
Right.
But yes, we do. So if you're new here, welcome to that. I will tell you, I will warn them, Adrian. This is Only Comics, right?
Yes.
This is where we discuss comics and only comics.
Sometimes we discuss other things.
Sometimes some other stuff, yes.
Right.
Now, we can thank TikTok for a few things. This phrase here on this shirt, Adrian, read a comic.
Right.
Remember, they used to tell us to read a comic,
Yes.
right? They used to say, now we never claimed to be experts.
No.
We never said that.
Well, I think we still are not.
We're not experts.
We are better educated on the things that we enjoy to talk about.
Yes, but at the end of the day, we are only fans.
Yeah, you're an only fan.
We are just fans. We're just fans.
Yes.
We're a couple of unks, as they call. Well, you're an OG. I'm an unk. Right now that we've cleared that up recently.
Exactly.
But I mean, we're a couple comic unks, dude, that are just regular dudes that are not experts. We're just fans of comic book shit.
Correct.
You know, so that's, if you're with us for the first time, welcome, buckle up, because if you have thin skin, you should probably tune out right now, because we're probably going to say something that will offend someone.
So in Florida, right? you go down the street.
Bro, when you start with Florida, you never know what's going to happen next, but go ahead.
It's like, I was talking to a stripper. No. So I'm in Florida, right? And they actually, I think, outlawed, the homeless and the beggars and stuff. So anyway, it was getting bad.
Okay.
You pull up to a stoplight, and they come out with signs and this and that, and so on and so forth. So this one cat comes out, and he's like, you can slap me for $1, right? Or I'll insult you for $1.
Okay.
The reason I'm bringing this up is that, well, the people that have thin skins and might get offended, they might want to just, become, just sign up, because some people just like to be abused.
Oh, okay. So you're saying we're going to abuse you and you're going to fucking like it.
There we go.
I like that. Well, what we are going to do right now, Adrian, is get into some motherfucking news and rumors like we do every week. Believe it or not, we're going to be talking about Doomsday and Brand New Day because these movies, they're on the horizon, as they say. So there was an event in London, South by Southwest in London, and the Russo bros, Joe and Anthony Russo, they were up there. They were talking. They were saying some things. They were making some comments, Adrian. And they made some comments that has people's heads spinning a little bit, okay? So they're talking about Doomsday. And one of the statements they said, well, first of all, they referred to this phase as back to phase 0, okay? They said things like starting over from scratch. Now, the reason why we're talking about this is, as we know, we're at the end of this Multiverse Saga. Doomsday, as far as we know, is going to serve is going to be the Infinity War of this phase. And then Secret Wars will be the Endgame, and we're thinking reboot, so on and so forth. But the way they're talking about Doomsday, it almost sounds like in their minds that reboot may have already happened. It sounds like they're describing this movie as if it's going to just kind of ignore a lot of the Multiverse Saga, okay? This is what they said specifically. This is their quote. we want to make sure everybody feels like this isn't leaning on anything from the past. They want to make sure that you can watch this and not feel like you had to see things that came before that. Okay. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
But I think where people are, and maybe it's just the wording here, and maybe this is just people overreacting, but where I kind of fall along the side of the trolls that are screaming about this is I don't think you should ignore the Multiverse Saga. I don't think this should feel like a standalone movie. I think it should be a movie where, yes, you can watch it on its own.
Mm-hmm.
But if you've seen the Multiverse Saga, that's going to make this movie more impactful, make it mean more. You're going to get more out of it if you've seen this phase. I don't think they should ignore all events from this phase. Now they're very careful about these words, but certain things they're saying, like the back to phase 0, starting over from scratch, has me thinking like, are they approaching this from a point of weakness? What do you think? Do you think it would be a mistake if this movie, Avengers Doomsday, completely ignores the Multiverse Saga?
Yes.
Okay.
I do think it would be a mistake if they ignore that. However, are they saying that the movie represents ground zero, or is the movie going to kick off ground zero?
Mm.
I mean, which one of those are we talking about, first and foremost?
Right.
Now, when they say we're going to ignore anything previously, are they talking about they're going to ignore the buildup, or they're going to ignore the nonsense that has happened, how they made this movie?
Mm.
So I'm sure they carefully crafted their words.
They did, yeah.
To put in some confusion.
So we can talk about it.
So we can talk about it. I'm thinking they are not going to ignore the multiverse thing. I mean, it's almost like you can't do.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm thinking they're probably it's probably like a play on words, to get you thinking about and talking about, right? What actually they're trying to say.
Sure.
So
now I would argue I could play devil's advocate. I just rewatched Infinity War and Endgame. Mm-hmm. Those movies, as much as they were built for 10 years, I do believe you could watch those movies not knowing anything that happened prior to and still enjoy them and still know what's going on. Because nowadays in movies, they do such a good job, maybe it's overdone sometimes, of reminding the viewer what the plot is, what's going on throughout the movie, because we have fucking ADHD.
Sure.
I mean, in the beginning of Endgame, they sum up based off of what certain characters are saying to other characters what happened in Infinity War. Mm-hmm. Within a few minutes about Thanos getting the stone, snapping, killing half of the universe in Endgame. Mm-hmm. So as much as you as a diehard fan, you'd be like, you have to watch them both. But someone could come in blind, watch Endgame, know what's going on, and enjoy it.
Right.
But if you've seen these other, 252 movies, it's going to be more impactful. I think what they're doing, I think they're trying to get people back to the theater. I think they're saying this because I think they understand that there's a part of the audience out there that may feel like, damn, I can't go watch this Avengers movie. I haven't seen all these shows, all this shit. I'm checked out, bro. I'm not up to speed on this. I've checked out a long time ago. I think what they want to do is ensure that the people that may have not seen these movies and shows don't feel like they shouldn't go watch this movie. Because there's no way, or I guess there could be, but it would be insane for them to ignore, I don't know how many movies are in the Multiverse Saga, probably 10 or 12 or something, probably 4 or 5 shows. Makes no sense to ignore all of that just to, right this wrong because some fans didn't like this saga.
I'm not sure I'm understanding the words that are coming out of your mouth. So how is that going to get people into the theaters?
Because if you're checked out, right, you haven't watched the Multiverse Saga, you think these movies are bad, they suck, whatever the case, and then you look at this Avengers movie as, well, this is part of this saga. I didn't watch all this shit. I can't go see that movie because it's all connected.
Oh.
Makes sense?
Yeah, I got you now.
So I think they're saying that so those people don't feel that way. So they're like, oh, I can go watch a new Avengers movie.
Or it could backfire And if they're saying, hey, this is disconnected from all this other shit, then, well, I don't need to go to the theater and watch it. I just wait until it comes out on streaming, and I'll watch it whenever the fuck it comes out because it's just any other movie.
Yeah. So, I think they're just talking a little too much here. I think,
I definitely agree on that part because as soon as you say Russo brothers, I'm like, I'm tired of hearing about these motherfuckers already, dude. It's like, shut up.
Yep. Now, I think the only part of this that really at least confuses me is the part where they say their approach was essentially back to zero, starting over from scratch. I don't see how you're starting over from scratch with an Avengers movie at the end of the multiverse phase. That's where I think they're fucking confusing everybody. But
possibly.
We will find out in motherfucking December, Adrian. That's for damn sure.
I tell you what, instead of yapping, fucking Russo brothers, why don't you put out some fucking previews?
A preview, a teaser, some shit. Fuck, man. We do know the cast so far, and there's this sense out there, a pocket of idiots that say there's too many characters. It's gonna be a cameo fest. It's gonna be too many people. Funny thing is, I counted up the characters that have been confirmed so far. Okay, there's 33 characters. Now, does that sound like a lot for a movie? No. I mean, a movie is 2.5, 3 hours long. 33 characters.
I mean, most movies have 33 people in them, right?
Right. Yeah,
I mean, they're not all like, superpowered and shit, but they're there. But this is also a comic book movie.
Exactly. Now, you know how many confirmed characters were in Infinity War? 40.
Nice.
You know how many were in Endgame? Over 60. So first of all, this is not too many characters.
Right.
And if you've seen either one of those movies, you know that just because Loki's in the movie, don't mean he's going to be in the movie much.
Right.
How long was Loki in Endgame for? Fucking 10 minutes before he was killed? He was still in there, right? I mean, there's Black Widow. She was killed off in Endgame. She was only in there for half the movie. How long was Gamora in Infinity War for? Half the fucking movie. Right. So even though there's 33 characters confirmed, it doesn't mean they're all going to be on the screen starring in the movie at one time,
Why can't people just shut the fuck up about it?
Yeah.
I mean, just whatever, however many number of characters they put in the movie.
Yep.
They obviously thought about it, and it'll roll like it rolls. You can judge after. Stop talking about it now.
Like, be positive. Enjoy it. How about look at it from the other side? There's going to be 33 fucking characters in this movie. Like, imagine if you were a kid, Adrian, and you heard that there was an Avengers movie coming out with 33 different superheroes in it.
Right.
Oh my, bro, you would have been bouncing off the fucking wall so bad you got your ass whooped by your parents for not shutting the fuck up.
That's and the bouncing.
Oh my God, I want to see it. Like, shut the fuck up. This is coming out till December. Shut up and go back to your fucking room. But it's 33 characters. Oh my God. I mean, think about, I'm going to speed through them. These are the people who have been confirmed. Robert Downey Jr. is Doom. Steve Rogers, Thor, Captain America, Sam Wilson, Scott Lang, Ant-Man, Shang-Chi, Loki, Falcon, Peggy Carter, Cassie Lang, Charles Xavier, Magneto, Cyclops, Beast, Nightcrawler, Mystique, Gambit. That's only half. The Fantastic Four, all 4 of those motherfuckers. Probably Franklin, Bucky, Yelena, Red Guardian, U.S. Agent, Ghost, Sentry, all the Thunderbolts. Black Panther, Shuri, M'Baku, Namor, Atuma, and Namora. Dude, how fucking awesome does it sound? Okay, maybe we don't love every character in there, every portrayal, but all of those characters on screen at one time, or in the movie, I'm sorry. I mean, this is a comic book come to life. How I can think of so many events and panels where a good chunk of those characters were in there. So, as you said, Adrian, if you have a problem with that, shut the fucking fuck up. Just be a fan, Just be a fan for once. Everybody wants to be a critic. Everybody wants to be a critic about everything.
I mean, you can even be an only comics fan.
There you go.
You don't have to be an only fan.
True.
Just, be a fan.
Absolutely. I'm a fan of Spider-Man, Adrian. We got a Spider-Man movie coming up in a few weeks. Dude, is it like, how is it June?
I don't know.
Like, what's going on with the time stream?
I don't even know. I just give up. Yeah. I thought it was like an older guy thing, right? Where as you get older, it's like, time to get showing because your fucking heart's counting down, boy. That's but it's not that. No. Because if you're feeling it, then I don't feel so bad. Dude. But June already. It was like Christmas yesterday.
I know. Didn't it
I'm still, scraping fucking snow off my sidewalk.
Well, after today, you won't.
Not today.
But dude, it feels like we just were talking about these teasers for Doomsday being released, the movie coming out, in a year, all this shit.
Right.
And now, dude, we're about 6 months away from this shit. We're about a month or 2 months away from the next Spider-Man movie.
Right.
And it felt like that was just announced. We just found out Hope was going to be in there. Now there's some new posters, new international banners they dropped showing Spider-Man and some classic poses. But the thing about these banners is they show him battling the Ninja Clan, the Hand. So we saw the Hand in the trailer, and I think Marvel's done a good job lately of not giving up everything in the trailer, where, even going back to the Endgame movie, the trailer for the Endgame only had footage from like the first 20 minutes of that movie. We didn't see any of that other shit until the movie theater, right? So the Hand was in the Spider-Man trailer for a brief period of time. There was no way to judge, or nothing about that made me think they would be a big, big, big presence in this movie. Is that fair?
Sure.
But the fact that they're putting them on these posters makes me think they might be a big presence in this movie. Now, the Hand we've seen in Daredevil, so obviously there's that connection there. There is a rumor that there's well, let me back up. It has been confirmed that there's a female leader of the Hand in this movie. There's a rumor, though, that says that new leader is actually Elektra. Now, this one, I think, is very plausible. There is read a comic. There is a comic where Elektra does become the leader of the Hand, and we know that Punisher's going to be in this show. We know, is that kind of like that? What was that Kevin Bacon movie? Some Degrees of Separation. You got Punisher, who kind of ties into Daredevil, right? You got the Hand that ties into Daredevil. And if Elektra's in this motherfucker, then obviously that's going to tie into Daredevil. Sure. How do you feel about a Elektra-led Hand? Sounds weird. Versus Spider-Man.
This is reminiscent of... This sounds like it's going to be a Daredevil movie on a Spider-Man set. That's what it sounds like.
Yep.
When you saying that there was going to be a female lead of the Hand, my mind just automatically went to Elektra. So I'm cool with that.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So it works for you then. You thought I was going to say Erica Kirk? No.
the way she be jumping out of them on the stage and shit.
Oh shit!
I am free.
Oh, that's what you're getting from that?
Yeah, dude. I mean, she's got some catapult. The one I saw, right? So she got some catapult shooting her up from the bottom of the stage, and she's coming down with the superhero landing and shit. And she's out. I mean. That shit was quick, dude.
Oh yeah, sparkler, fire, pyro everywhere. It looks like a WWE entrance and shit. I'm like, the fuck, she in the Royal Rumble? What's going on? Anyways, so if they did that, Elektra here, that could easily two things. It could lead to Daredevil being in this show or in this movie, or it could lead to some type of conflict in season 3 of Daredevil Born Again that kind of picks up where this, leaves off or whatnot. So,
well, either way, it sounds like she's getting resurrected.
Yes. Yep. And the Hand is known for resurrecting motherfuckers. They're almost like that, like Ra's al Ghul, fucking Lazarus Pit type of shit, right? Yep. Another rumor, or I don't know if this has been confirmed. Fact check this shit. Okay, something I fucking read here. Peter is struggling to control his organic webbing in this film. So something you're a big fan of, Adrian, is the organic webbing. But you know what? I got a gift for you later today. Okay, I am going to explain how that happened in the comics, because it did happen in the comics. He did get organic web, and it may give us some insight into what's happening in this movie. So there's that aspect. There's also rumors that both Norman Osborn and the Black Spider-Man suit are in Spider-Man's MCU future. Now, that could mean we see it in this movie, we don't, we see it in the next one. But I think that is one element of the Spider-Man movies that is missing, is the Osborns, right? Norman's always there, Harry's there. And Norman is a character that I wouldn't say on a Doom level, because he doesn't have the power and the tech like Doom, but Norman is a villain that transcends characters, right? Like he's a big, big force. I mean, there's a comic where he ends up taking over the Avengers and he's running this like makeshift. He's got fucking Bullseye dressed up as Hawkeye and all this shit. So he's a top tier villain.
Sure.
Right?
Sure. I actually would just briefly watch part of the first Spider-Man with Toby, and I for some reason I forgot all about the webs came out of his hands, out of his wrist. But then the Green Goblin, how they came about, and the whole juxtaposition with the son and all this, jealousy and all this bullshit. But it was pretty cool to watch.
Yeah. That's a great movie, the OG Spider-Man. So speaking of Spider-Man, Hulk's going to be in this movie. We know that. And there's been some rumors that we're going to get Gray Hulk. Now, we were talking about you did a hidden gem, I think, on the different types of Hulk. And then one day we did a deep dive on Gray Hulk itself, the Joe Fixit, right?
Right.
Which is a more evolved Hulk, like a more mature Hulk. Like Green Hulk is a toddler. He's throwing a tantrum.
Sure.
Oh my God. Gray Hulk is a little bit older of a Hulk who's kind of like teenager-ish, right? Mm-hmm. So we've been told that we're getting Savage Hulk back. So I don't know how that aligns with Gray Hulk. Now, things can change. It could just be an angry Gray Hulk. Doesn't mean he's going to be, right. Walking around with a trench coat and a fucking, hat on.
Fedora.
Yeah, fedora and a fucking trench coat. It doesn't mean that just because he's gray. But where where a good amount of leaks come out for these movies are with toy promos.
Sure.
Because think about it, you got to make the toy a lot earlier than the movie, right? You want it to be released during the movie. So the problem is these toy companies a lot of times will promo their shit months before they come out. So that was where this got leaked. There was a toy of a Gray Hulk promoted somewhere. So that kind of confirms we're getting it.
Wait a minute. Is that sighting confirmed? I mean, this is the Bigfoot talk.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it was confirmed. So somebody actually saw the toy.
Yep, they saw the promo poster of the toy. Yep. So they spoiled a little bit there. Lego does that shit all the time. They put out a Lego set with all these fucking characters from like a scene in a movie. And you're like, oh shit.
Well, people are like, why did they put out? It's fucking marketing for the movie.
Absolutely. Right? And not everybody's gonna see that, right?
No.
So last piece, not last piece, but another MCU news. This is more of a Doomsday deal. So the rumor is that Dr. Doom already has established history with Mr. Fantastic, and Elizabeth Olsen's Scarlet Witch is confirmed to be involved in the movie. So we've heard like a rumor about her probably 10 times since this movie's been in production. I gotta imagine that means it's happening.
Well, that also means that because the last time we saw Scarlet Witch, she was a fucking pixel, a red pixel underneath Witch Mountain or whatever the fuck that was that fell on top of her, right? So I'm assuming they're gonna have to spend some time explaining that resurrection as well. Right. And that's not a Lazarus pit or the fucking owls or anything else. So
no, I mean, but that does, at least I look at that and it tells me that some part of Scarlet Witch left that fucking mountain, right? Because you see this red energy just bounce. Where did it go? Who knows? Maybe it went to fucking Latveria. But I hear this about
ended up in Doom's bed.
Exactly. Hey, dude, wouldn't be the first time,
Right.
Doom. I hear this about Doom having established history with Mr. Fantastic. Okay. Now, last week I went on my rant about Doomsday, Dr. Doom not needing build. Okay. But you know what? Hearing this kind of annoys me a little bit because we had a Fantastic Four movie last year, right? Mm-hmm. Did you see, outside of the post-credit scene, did you see a Dr. Doom anywhere?
Well, yeah, at the end, right?
Well, I said outside of that.
Oh, no.
No. Remember in the Future Foundation, the big meeting, they had the little spot for Latveria. He wasn't there, right? So if maybe they didn't know at the time, but if you knew you're going to have Victor Von Doom have an established relationship history with Reed Richards, you should have at least acknowledged him. I think that was a misstep. Dude, as much as I'm hyped for Doomsday, and as much as I enjoyed the miscasted Reed Richards and the rest of his family in their first MCU movie, Marvel should have acknowledged Victor Von Doom in Fantastic Four First Steps. We should have left that movie I believe, with the understanding that Reed Richards and Victor Von Doom had a history. We should have had more than just the empty seat at the Future Foundation where the Latvian director was supposed to be sitting.
Mhm.
I'm not saying we should have seen Doom in the movie. I was okay with only seeing him in the post-credit scene, but to me, it feels like it's a mistake not to just give us some little Easter egg. Maybe it's just Sue saying something to Reed about Doom.
I mean, when they had that little black and white kind of flashbacks and all that kind of shit, I mean, they could have, wove him into that.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think this falls under the whole, we talk about if this is happening in New York, where the fuck's Spider-Man? Where the fuck's this guy? Well, if Galactus is attacking the entire world, right? We know how Doom, or maybe some of us don't, Doom's mentality is, I'm going to protect Latveria, but if the world is being threatened,
right,
Latveria is part of the world, right?
Right.
Would it be crazy for Reed to reach out to Victor when they're trying to come up with this plan to move the goddamn Earth and Galactus is coming down if he already had an established history with him?
Well, but are there any other superheroes on that in that universe? Because remember, I think they're coming from a whole different universe.
Right.
They might be the only ones.
They're only ones, but Doom is established there.
Well, was he established there or did he come there after the fact?
I mean, he had a seat at the fucking foundation.
Oh, that's true.
So he had to have I'm basing
well, they said Latveria,
true,
not Doom.
Right.
So,
but they're saying now they had a history. So if they had a history, where was this motherfucker?
So they should have did one or the other.
Absolutely.
Not show the fucking Latvian or not say that he had a history.
There you go. That part. And again, you just could have just referenced him. Maybe you could have called him up what do you think we should do? Or hey, wonder what Doom would do. At least acknowledge that. Or to your point, in the little history, I'm nitpicking, sure, but I'm like, that's the kind of shit that annoys me about this part of, this phase.
Too much in the weeds, man.
We are too much in the weeds. But either way, I'm not going to go write bad comments about Doomsday online. Oh my God, because I'm ready. We're a few months away. I'm excited.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing about the fact that we've been teleported or transported into the fucking June of this year already. We're in the cleavage of moviedom. We're firmly in the titty meat of moviedom. We're getting ready to kick off this year.
Yes.
And it's gonna be a lot of fucking spazzing out.
Dude, there's so much shit. Scary Movie came out this week. I didn't see that yet. Obsession came out a few weeks ago. I want to go check that out.
What's that?
It's this new horror movie. I don't want to say much to spoil it. Basically, this kid gets a wish. He wishes that this girl falls in love with him, and she becomes obsessed. He wishes that she loves him more than any other person loves anyone on the planet. And she becomes obsessed and I guess starts killing people. So it looks like, and I hear it plays on it's very in tune with a lot of the issues we have nowadays, social media, obsession, that type. So great reviews. Backrooms came out last week. I actually went to see that. It was pretty good. And then you got, Supergirl coming out in a couple weeks. Now, another movie that they're shooting right now, speaking of Supergirl, is Man of Tomorrow. The kind of Superman sequel, not. It's a team-up movie, right? You got Lex, you got Superman, and there's a couple things about this movie I wanted to touch on. One is they're filming right now in Atlanta, and Nicholas Hoult is wearing a practical Lex Luthor war suit. So we've seen this in the comics, right? The big green suit. Now, I don't know all the ins and outs about the suit, but he can blast some green energy from it, apparently, and it puts him on a level where he could fight Superman.
Sure.
Right? Gives him some strength and whatnot. Now, we do know that Brainiac is the main villain of this movie, and I guess what we're thinking is somehow, because Brainiac's there, Lex and Superman are going to need to team up or whatnot. Sure. But the reason I wanted to bring this up is two things. One, we got some set photos. So let's go, boom. Oh, there we go, laptop shot. And there you go, practical suit there. So they're not doing, the whole CGI thing. And here we go here with him in the suit. What do you think? I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah, looks more like a deep sea exploration suit than like an armor.
Yeah.
Like if you open that one up, the armor is like a little tighter.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, that one looks more like a deep sea exploration kind of astronautish kind of a suit. But I mean, it's still cool though.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's cool. And I kind of, I don't know what that's going to do for shooting. Does it make it better because it's practical suit versus CGI? Who the fuck knows? And the other picture I wanted to show you, Adrian, was so there's this actress in this movie, Adria, I don't fucking know, Arjona. Okay. Adria. Adria, maybe? Adria? Whatever. Now, she's in the movie. We don't know who she's playing. She posted a photo here where she is fucking, she's flexing here, dude. She's ripped. Oh, my God. There she goes. And now that this photo came out, people are thinking, is she playing Wonder Woman? Is that who she's playing?
I hope not.
You hope not?
No.
You don't think she can pull? I have no idea.
I don't know what she looks like. I don't know what she looks like without that fucking whatever she's doing with her face. I'm very particular about certain characters, dude. I mean, you gotta Gal Gadot, she had the face, not the body.
Okay.
Wonder Woman is a warrior and she needs to look like a warrior.
Yeah.
So I mean, this chick, she has the body, but I don't know. But there's also the presence. We also know that you can be on set and you can have nothing in your eyes, right?
True.
We've had a couple of people prove that one.
Yes. So yeah, I mean, here's some other, photos of her. I think she's got the look enough, right?
Yeah. She looks right there. There.
This one?
Yeah. She looks like the doctor from fucking
Daredevil. Yeah. So yeah, dude, I think that
she almost looks like somebody. She almost looks like somebody and Halle Berry had a baby. I mean, obviously somebody white, but Halle rolls in those arenas anyway.
Yes.
But anyway, she kind of looks like a offspring of Halle Berry.
Yes. Now, again, her character hasn't been confirmed. She's rumored to either be playing Wonder Woman or Maxima, whoever the fuck Maxima is.
Maxima.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully it's Wonder Woman. So I could see her play. I mean, from a look standpoint.
Sure.
Acting, who the hell knows? But I mean, we've had the opposite. We've had great actors who look nothing like the character, right? I mean, Pedro Pascal's Reed. Like, what the fuck's this guy doing? Something else I'm going to ask, what the fuck is this guy doing, is who's ever in charge of this next show here, Batman, the Caped Crusader. You know, it pains me to say this, Adrian. You know I'm a Batman glazer. You know that, right? I got Batman there behind me. And whose fucking computer keeps dinging? I don't know. Intern, fix that shit. Fuck y'all doing in there? But anyways, and I know they can't hear it here, so they think I'm crazy, but it's really happening. I'm a Batman glazer. I'm a big Batman animated series guy. And I will tell you this, Adrian. I'll tell you this. DC has made some mistakes.
Sure.
I could have stopped there with Caped Crusader. I'm going to tell you a few, but I'm going to save the best for last, okay? So in Caped Crusader, season 2, they're gender swapping the Mad Hatter. So why does the Mad Hatter need to have a gender swap? I don't know.
In a cartoon?
In a cartoon. What does that add to the plot? I don't know. What does that do for viewership? I don't know.
Oh, my God.
What does that accomplish? If you want to have another female character, why not just use another female character, right? You already did it once in this show. You did it in the first season with the Penguin.
Yeah.
Remember this? They gender swap, and the result was a bunch of bullshit. The female Penguin was everything but the Penguin.
Right.
You might as well just created a new character. But that's not the biggest mistake DC's made with Caped Crusader. The biggest mistake was not giving Batman the animated series the X-Men 97 treatment.
Right.
You had the perfect opportunity here. You have a show that's universally loved. Have you ever met someone who said, I didn't like Batman the animated series? A fucking great show.
Right.
Kids, adults, it literally was on par with X-Men the animated series. Marvel comes in, they take the animated series, they give us X-Men 97, fucking phenomenal. The new season starts July 1st, can't wait. DC has this property. They create this show where it pulls from the anime. It looks like the animated series, right? Same color palette, same noir feel, even some of the musics, even some of the voice actors. And then you start the show. and you realize this ain't the animated series. This is some bullshit.
Right.
So the biggest mistake, even though the gender swap Mad Hatter and the Penguin and all that shit's ridiculous, the biggest mistake was just not doing the X-Men 97 treatment on this, which is sad. So yeah, that's the news here. Couple things. Now, number one, all 10 episodes of season 2 will drop Friday, July 31st. The same day Spider-Man Brand New Day comes out in theater. We got a little peek. There's a little trailer. You got a little peek at the Joker, who's kind of hiding in the shadows. Got a little classic Joker smile. We see the Riddler, we see Roxy Rocket, and then we see the gender-swapped Mad Hatter, which is just strange. It's strange on many levels. Number one, the whole Mad Hatter lore, he's after Alice, like the fucking Alice in Wonderland, the Mad Hatter. Well, why are we changing the Mad Hatter to a female? What purpose does that serve? It's insane. They're introducing Carrie Kelly, who's a fan favorite Robin from the comics. See, shit like that, I'm fine with. That's a character that exists. In The Dark Knight Returns, when old Batman comes back out into the field, Adrian, his new Robin is this girl he saves, Carrie Kelly. I'm fine with them bringing her in there. She's a character that exists.
Right.
Why take an existing character and change their fucking gender for no reason?
Man, this is kind of worse than like Tim Burton's Batman and shit. It's like, why? It's like, why?
Right.
Why you got nipples on people and stuff? I mean, on Batman.
Well, that was Joel Schumacher. You can't blame Tim Burton for that.
All right, whatever. It was long ago. Yeah. I can fuck it up with somebody. But are we going too far with this shit, dude? I mean, we have gone too far.
Yes, it is.
A character like the Mad Hatter, there's absolutely no reason whatsoever to change that character.
No.
None.
Nope. Crazy. So no, they're going too far. I'd rather have bat nipples than a female Mad Hatter. How about that shit?
Damn.
Yes. Now, do you think that with Cape Crusader dropping the same day as Spider-Man, Marvel should be nervous?
No.
No, I think they'll be okay. It's not going to be a Marvel versus DC weekend, bro. Right. Fucking. Anyways.
That's like McDonald's concerned Taco Bell is next to it.
Nope. So that is our last piece of news. Adrian, there's a new game coming out, Wolverine. I saw the gameplay the other day. It's bloody, it's gory, it's fucking phenomenal, dude. I know nice. It's not. I know it's not Ratchet and Clank, Adrian, but maybe this is the one. Maybe this is the one. But I'm curious. Did y'all see? I know a lot of you. We talked about it on Mic Check, but it drops in September, and I can't fucking wait, dude.
Yep. I'm playing videos like you watching Invincible.
All right, so you're not. You're not. All right, well, we're going to wrap up the news like we do every week with a little thumbs up, thumbs down. So starting off with the Russo brothers. Russos were at South by Southwest in London. They were talking about Avengers Doomsday. They were saying things like their approach was back to phase 0, starting over from scratch, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to give us a thumbs down. We're not starting over from scratch. We're finishing the fucking multiverse phase and do it right. So I hope that they're just saying that to try to get the people that checked out back in. Sure. But thumbs down on that shit. You get me angry already, dude, something that now another piece of Doomsday news and rumor is that Dr. Doom reportedly already has an established MCU history with Mr. Fantastic, and Elizabeth Olsen's Scarlet Witch is confirmed to be involved in a movie. So I give that a thumbs up, and it's almost like a no-brainer. Like it should.
More positive than not. They just kind of pooch screwed that whole relationship, that kind of thing. So I mean, thumbs up, but
right.
It should have been cleaner.
It should have been cleaner. We should have seen some of it in Fantastic Four First Steps. Like you had your opportunity there, but they wanted to leave us on the cliffhanger. Why is Doom in their living room playing with fucking blocks with Franklin? Anyways, but Scarlet Witch, the GOAT Adrian, our Queen Wanda shall return in Avengers Doomsday. So you don't need to worry, okay? We had some Man of Tomorrow set leaks, Adrian. We saw a photo of Nicholas Hoult in this practical war suit. I'm giving that a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
And then there's this actress, Adria Arjona, possibly. If I said your name wrong, I'm sorry. But she posted a photo of her, flexing, looking ripped, and now people are saying she's playing Wonder Woman. And if she is, I'm giving that a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Cape Crusader Season 2. drops Friday, July 31st. I think Marvel's shaking in their boots. They're going to move Spider-Man release because what they did in this season to get everybody excited was they gender swapped Mad Hatter. So I'm going to give this a thumbs down.
Thumbs down.
As much as I love me some Batman, he's my number one guy, Adrian.
Yeah, but they're not
with him.
They're not race swap. I mean, race swap. No. They're not gender swapping Batman.
No, not yet. They'll make him a girl and still call him Batman. That's kind of where we're at right now. So,
that's it.
But anyways, that is thumbs up, thumbs down. We are going to get into
when is Bruce going to be gay?
Yeah, that'll happen too at some point. Yeah.
It's coming, dude.
It's just
no Diddy.
It's just mind-boggling, dude. Like, what audience?
Just can't leave shit alone.
Just leave alone.
Right.
There's plenty of gay characters in the comics. There's plenty of every gender, every race. There's all kinds of shit. Just bring those motherfuckers in.
Right.
So, what's next? You ask, Adrian. We didn't, but I'm going to tell you. You talked about what'd you call it? Moviedom that we're in the middle of right now. So, and showdom, because there's some shows in here too. So we're in entertainment dumb, I guess.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah, because that doesn't sound any worse. But it starts June 26th, Supergirl drops. Okay, then July 1st, which is the next week, X-Men 97 Season 2 drops. Now, I believe that X-Men 97 is a weekly release. Okay. So we got a week to sit with those episodes, which is fine. July 31st, so 30 days later, you got Cape Crusader Season 2, all episodes dropping at once, because they figure if you're going to eat a shit sandwich, you want to eat it all at once, right? You don't want to be fucking fed bite-sized pieces. Spider-Man Brand New Day drops that same day. And then in August, Lanterns is scheduled to premiere August 16th. I don't know if that's full release at once or one by one. And then in September 11th, Clayface hits the theaters. And then September 25th is that Avengers Endgame re-release. And this thing is supposedly going to have some new footage that will tie into, Doomsday. So, dude, a lot of content in just the next fucking 3 months.
Maybe it's going to show that relationship between Doom and FF.
They're going to be walking fucking arms locked and shit. Yeah, maybe they'll be gay too in the movie. You never know. So, anyways, but that is what's next. All jokes aside. It's hard to say that on this show, all jokes aside. But we got a hell of a fucking lineup for the next few months. My biggest
titty meat.
Yeah. There's all kinds of titty meat. The biggest struggle for me is going to be?
What's that?
To actually watch all this shit.
Well, yeah. I mean, you got some time in between.
Yeah,
it looks
that's
like
true.
It's just, in the animated series, that's just kind of like a casual.
It's one episode a week.
The big thing is, fucking elbowing people out the way at the movie theater.
Oh my God. Oh, dude, we're going to be back to like pre-COVID type of movies with these. Like Spider-Man will hit $1 billion, no doubt.
Yeah.
There's going to be fucking people everywhere. You get tickets a fucking week early again. You can't just show up anymore,
Aren't there certain movies you buy tickets for now? You can buy tickets for now?
I think Supergirl, now you don't have to worry about that one selling out.
No.
I think Supergirl's on sale already. So I'd imagine next couple of weeks Spider-Man will be on sale. Yeah, they usually, movies like this, you're going to be able to buy them a few weeks early. All right. Yeah, don't just show up. You'll be standing in the handicap spot,
Yeah, but also movies like this too, you kind of, it's like, if I go to a concert or something, I get up like 10 or 15 minutes before the end to leave because I don't want to be in the river of people,
right.
Doing stupid shit when I'm trying to just get to my car, right?
Yep.
So the opposite with movies is that I don't necessarily know, because I know people are going to be talking and kids going to be running around, teenagers, kids, going to be running around fucking making noise. And in order for me to enjoy the movie, I also have to listen to the movie.
Yes.
Now I can't have, Jabba the Hutt behind me fucking snoring and all this kind of bullshit. Right? It interrupts my viewing pleasure. So I don't even know if I'm gonna see it like day one. But maybe I'll take a PTO and fucking sneak out in the middle of the day.
Dude, that's the best time to go. Because
when other adults are at work?
Yeah. Because they say it comes out, on the 31st. Well, it actually comes out on the 30th. And the first showing is usually around 2:00 in the afternoon.
Right.
So the only people going to that movie are people that want to see the fucking movie.
Right.
You ain't going at 2:00 on a Thursday to fuck around with your friends. You're doing that fucking Friday night.
Right.
So I've definitely learned that either go to that first one, or if you got to go on the weekend, go in the fucking afternoon or the morning. Because the assholes show up at night. I go party at the movie. Avengers movie coming out. We're going to go have fun. No, stay the fuck home. Shut the fuck up.
All right.
So anyways, so when do y'all go to the fucking movie? I know everyone goes there, different fucking times, but when I was a kid, Friday night, Saturday night was the shit. Now I'm like, I don't want to be in the movie theater at night.
Right.
Because my ass will fall asleep, dude.
No, there's
you fucking.
Oh, so you'll be the Jabba the Hutt behind me.
I would.
Fucking snoring. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, maybe less Jabba, more snoring.
Yeah. Anyways, well, we're going to move on to, I think, what's becoming everyone's favorite segment on TikTok. Who the fuck is Adrian? And you're going to recognize this guy because you did a hidden gem on this fella. Shit, I don't even know. Back in the day. At some point between 1 and 3 years ago.
It's like, how old are your kids? Some 5 to 12. I don't know.
I can confirm. So some of the shit we're joking. He's not joking about that. I've seen him in actual conversations where they're like, yo, how old so-and-so? Somewhere between 5 and 10. You know? And you're not wrong, right? So it's a good way to hedge your bets, Right. But this week's Who the Fuck is a guy who is like an untapped fucking fire hydrant of power. Like it's interesting the amount of power he has and how long he went without even understanding how to use that. This week's Who the Fuck is who the fuck is Iceman? Now, I can tell you who Iceman is not. Iceman is not an album from Drake. No. Iceman is not. He's not some light-skinned rapper from Canada who got destroyed by Kendrick Lamar a couple years ago. That's not Iceman.
He's the truck driver in Smokey and the Bandit.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's not him either. No. He's not some Jack Frost wannabe, Frosty the Snowman looking ass motherfucker. He ain't making snow cones and ice skating and chilling Logan's beer, punk ass kid. That's not who he is. He is an Omega level mutant who literally manipulates the fundamental thermodynamics of the universe. What does that mean? You're gonna fucking find out. He doesn't shoot ice, Adrian, because that's impossible. You can't project cold. Cold is just the absence of heat, okay? Sure. Bobby Drake, his actual mutant power is the ability to instantly, psionically strip the kinetic energy and thermal heat out of any atomic structure in his vicinity. He doesn't create a snowball. He steals the heat from the moisture in the air until the water molecules crash to a dead halt and freeze solid. So even though it looks like he's making a fucking snowball, he's not. He's pulling heat away from wherever he's at, and then he freezes shit. So he was born in Port Washington, New York, born to William and Madeline Drake, a working class Catholic family. When he was 15, Adrian's going on a date. Talking about going to the movies. When he was 15, he took a girl named Judy Harmon on a date. They're trying to go see a movie, and some bitch-ass motherfucker named Rocky Beasley tries to steal his girl. He showed up. He's figured, I beat Bobby's ass, take his chick, and I get to go to the movies with her. Well, Bobby panics. He puts his hand up in self-defense. He just wants this dude to stop. And because he's panicking, and he's a mutant, he doesn't really know this yet, he instantly drains the thermal energy from around this guy, encasing Rocky in this massive solid block of ice. He fucking puts him in an ice cube. So the punk-ass town, they did what white people normally do, Adrian. They organized a mob of pitchfork-wielding Karens with their husbands. They broke into Bobby's house. They dragged his little ass into the street, tried to kill him. So needless to say, they weren't very pro-mutant in this neighborhood. The situation was so violent, the local sheriff actually had to arrest Bobby and lock him up inside a jail cell. Not to punish him, but to keep him away from his neighbors who were trying to murder him.
Wow, that except for the sheriff locking him up to protect him, that sounds like some slave shit.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Oh, we'll protect you. Here, handcuff you. I mean,
you never make it to the jail.
Yeah.
I want to do it.
Exactly. That was the first time his mutant powers, he actually displayed them, but there were signs. He would get insanely cold and shit as a kid, and he was trying to hide this from his parents because he knew, these
He's different.
He's different, and you got these Catholic, parents, and no shit on any Catholics, but they weren't very inviting,
Well, there's going to be some shit and other stuff.
Oh shit,
some Catholic shit.
Damn. Professor Charles Xavier, he caught wind of the mutant hysteria on the news, and he sent at this time his only student. At that point, his only student was Scotty Boy Cyclops, dude. So he sends him to the jail. Scott breaks Bobby out of jail. He offers him a way out. And Bobby, dude, at this point, he's traumatized. He's tired. He's crazy defensive after what just happened. He thought Scott was just another person trying to hurt him. Mm-hmm. So these two are fighting in the middle of the street. Two teenagers brawling in the streets, using their powers and shit. Then the angry mob, dude, they come back with their fucking pitchforks and shit. And they start attacking these two.
Wait a minute. So why didn't Chuck... you could have did two things instead of the violence, right?
Right.
He could have just bailed him out. He's got money.
True.
Or he could have just made fuck with the sheriff and just say, hey, release this kid.
True.
Anyway, theatrics. I get it.
Yeah. Well, so he does come out after. Now, I guess in his defense, Adrian, this is very early X-Men days. He only has one X-Men. So he's not really the tactical guy yet, maybe. I don't know.
Let me see, bail or changing the mind of the sheriff. Neither one of those had to do with a student.
True. But got to put Scott to work, dude. He's not living here for free. Go fucking earn your keep, right? So as they're fighting in the street, the mob starts to overwhelm the boys, dude, because there's a bunch of these crazy motherfuckers. And then Professor Xavier arrived in person to clean up his mess. Well, clean up the mess. He used his telepathic abilities to freeze the mob in place. We've seen him do this, movies and stuff. He then wipes the entire town's memory of his incident he then wipes the entire town's memory of the incident and of Chuck showing up, shirt cocking with no blanket. He wipes all that out of their memory. Even the memories of Bobby's own parents, he wipes those too. Then Xavier asked Bobby to freeze the noodle he had under his blanket. I'm just kidding. He doesn't ask him that. He asked him to join the X-Men. Bobby agrees. He goes to the mansion in Westchester, and that officially made him the second member of the X-Men.
Okay. Fuck up number 2. So
freezing the noodle.
So he wiped the town's memory of the incident, and he did what to the parents?
He wiped their memories too.
How about getting rid of the memory of when Bobby first displayed his shit, which is freezing the kid?
What's what they did for the town?
Oh, I thought they just wiped the incident, that incident, like the
no.
You mean the whole thing?
Yeah, not the shirt cocking incident. Right. No, the actual, yeah.
All right, I get you. I'm with you. I'm following you now.
No, I mean, you're just trying to hate on Xavier.
he can do so much shit, and he doesn't.
Yeah.
He just sit there with fucking blanket popping up and down and shit, and fucking pour a storm, Oh, my God, the lights are out.
Well, 2 things are going to happen when it's an X-Men base who the fuck is, right? I'm going to give you a great deep dive, and we're going to talk about the motherfucking blanket. So, all right, Bobby joins the X-Men. For decades, though, Bobby was the clown of the X-Men, dude. He made ice baths, he threw snowballs. He never pushed his limits. He's the fun guy. He's Jack Frost, right?
Sure.
Then, one of the greatest telepathic villains in Marvel history showed him his true, terrifying potential. The White Queen herself, Adrian, Emma Frost. Now, if Scarlet Witch is our queen, Emma Frost is probably our second queen. Okay, just saying. Now, at the time, she was
Concubine.
a villain. Huh?
Concubine.
Yes. So the White Queen, Emma Frost, at this point, she was still a villain. She had suffered some severe physical trauma. She fell into a coma. Okay, I don't know what the fuck she was doing. She got fucked up. She's desperate to survive. She transferred her consciousness directly into Bobby Drake's brain, completely hijacking his body. Okay. So while she's driving Bobby's body, she accessed his mutant X gene without any of Bobby's crippling psychological blocks or his moral hesitation. So Bobby's a guy who had this potential. He's an Omega level mutant, but he had such crippling anxiety, these moral issues with using his powers. Like, he was nerfing himself. So she accesses this power without any of that bullshit. So she didn't just make fucking ice slides and, chill her friends' beers. She turned his body into liquid water to travel seamlessly through buildings, plumbing. This is stuff you talk about in the Hidden Gem, how deep. but she unlocked that shit. So she infiltrated a facility by traveling as a vapor. She froze the fluids inside of the bodies of the guards, instantly incapacitating them from the inside out. She did all that using his shit, fucking like one day. And then when Emma eventually returned to her own body, she gave Bobby his mind back, but she mocked the shit out of him. She's like, bro, you stupid bitch. You're sitting on this god tier, omega level power, but you're out there fucking making snow cones and shit, you dumbass. But his own, his little lack of self-esteem, his immaturity, he's afraid of hurting people.
Right.
That was physically restricting his mutation.
Sure.
Like a lot of people, right? We're our own worst enemies, right?
You cock blocking yourself.
Yes.
Basically.
Yep. Now, when she took over his body, right? If she, she took over his whole body, in his body. If she wanked him till he was done, does that mean he had sex with Emma Frost? Or no. Okay, all right. I don't know how that works.
Still self-love.
So now she telepathically, after this, forces him to confront his own molecular structure. Under her kind of aggressive psychic guidance, Bobby finally learned how to stop wearing ice and actually became the ice. So you remember, like, he would just have like ice certain parts of, and then at one point he literally became an ice dude, right? So Emma was the one who taught him that shit, taught him how to convert his biological human tissue into organic ice, effectively making him immortal. So after he untapped these powers, dude, he could do things like drop the temperature around him to absolute zero. Dude, you're talking negative like 300 degrees or some shit. And at that temperature, physics break down. He can literally freeze explosions in midair when he gets down to that cold. So he converted his organic tissue into this sentient living ice. So he's been shattered into a fucking million pieces. And all he'll do is, I'll say all he'll do, but his consciousness exists within the moisture. So he'll just pull these water molecules from the air and rebuild his entire physical form from scratch. And he's still there. He's fucking immortal. Hydrokinesis. He's a god tier waterbender. So it's not just his dominion over ice, it's over water in all forms. Solid, liquid, gas. He can evaporate himself into steam. He can travel miles through the fucking wind, and he can reform his body anywhere on the planet. He can control moisture over vast distances, so his brain can create multiple avatars at once, like ice clones. And he can simultaneously create, animate, control a whole fucking army of these motherfuckers, which they possess his exact physical strength and his freezing capabilities as well. He can trace water out of the desert air to create massive structures. If he's pushed to like absolute fucking ruthlessness, he can extract the water out of a human being's biological cells and turn them to dust. So one of his most impressive feats was what he did to Juggernaut. Juggernaut's a character that I need to do on this one of these weeks because his shit is insane.
Yep.
Now, Juggernaut is powered by the Crimson Gem of Sidorak. And he's physically unstoppable. Part of his whole thing is once he starts moving, dude, he's unstoppable, right? So Bobby can't just put up a wall of ice or some bullshit. You know what this motherfucker did to Juggernaut? He bypassed his armor completely. He froze the fluid inside of his joints. We all got fluid inside our joints, right? He froze the fluid in between Juggernaut's joints, physically locking his body in place. He couldn't move. That's one fucking hell of a way, painful way too, I'm sure, to take care of Juggernaut.
Well, just for clarity, I think Juggernaut doesn't really have an armor. He doesn't have an armor. That helmet that he wears is kind of like the same thing that a Magneto wears. So the only thing that can really attack Juggernaut and stop him is magic.
Yeah.
So the helmet is designed to protect his brain from that kind of stuff.
Right.
So that other shit, that's because he doesn't really, most of his skin's exposed.
Yeah, I mean, he's got some padding and some shit around him. But Bobby, that helmet don't mean shit.
Exactly.
He fucking got right through that bitch. One time he was thrown into this incinerator and his body was vaporized into steam and he didn't die. His consciousness just rode the steam out of the smokestack and collected the moisture in the clouds above that city and rebuilt his body perfectly on the ground. he froze hell once. So he traveled to a demonic hell dimension with the X-Men. And the ambient heat and the magical fire was so intense that it should have just vaporized him. Instead, he used his full Omega potential, overpowered the magic of the realm, and literally froze a massive section of hell completely solid. So, you know, the whole when hell freezes over, well, if Bobby's there, bro, and he's untapped, he will freeze that motherfucker.
Mm.
So powerful as shit. Now, there was something that, so Emma didn't help him, but she helped him, but she's not what unlocked his true Omega potential.
Mm.
Let's talk about some of his relationships. So he's dated some women in the comics, dude. Polaris, Kitty Pryde, Mystique, right? Bobby's been around a little bit, dude. But he always, these relationships always self-destruct because he's just a funny guy. He's immature. He's too sarcastic, whatever. He's just, you know, he's doing a lot to overcompensate and hide his true self. So he's got some deep insecurities. Mm-hmm. How did those get pulled out? There was a fucking time-displaced version of Jean Grey. Dude, the Summers and the Grey, they caused a lot of bullshit in the comics, right? From Cable to Sinister being after them, the Phoenix, Madeline Pryor, they caused a lot of drama. But somehow a time-displaced younger version of Jean Grey is brought to the present. She's reading Bobby's mind, and she confronts him with the truth, bro. She goes, Bobby, you're gay. Not like trying to make fun, you know, not like a 90s, hey, you're gay. No, Bobby, you're fucking gay, bro. You didn't know this? And he came to the realization that, yeah, he spent his entire life hiding this. So what does that have to do with his power? Well, because of the impact of keeping that secret for so long, that tied into why he held back his mutant powers and why he sabotaged his relationships and why he had spent decades being terrified of his true self. Kind of twofold. Part of it was the stress of being a mutant, number one. So he's already hated for being a mutant. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, on top of that, I'm gay. So he understands the treatment, especially back then, right? How the masses viewed people that weren't straight. So he's dealing with both of those. But then once he finally accepted that, he came out to all his friends. He embraced who he really was. He even started dating Romeo, the Inhuman, and then Christian Frost later on. This massive psychological weight was lifted. He accepted his true identity, and then he mastered his Omega level abilities. Once he stopped hiding from the world, he stopped hiding his powers from himself pretty much. So it was like this psychological dam was broken. He no longer needed like a traumatic event to be pushed to his limits, because he had went, God tier Omega level at times, but it would be under massive, massive stress. He can now do that at will without losing his mind. So it was a part of it was a confidence thing. The fear of hurting people vanished because he finally trusted himself. He stopped viewing his powers as a curse that may spiral out of control and started viewing them more as a natural extension of his true self. So coming out actually helped him be more comfortable existing in this organic ice state. He stopped clinging to his human appearance as a safety blanket as well. That was the catalyst to him unlocking his true Omega potential to be able to use that at will. So that is who the fuck Iceman is. He's not a snowman, Adrian. Crazy, dude.
Yeah. They did a lot of nerfing. Now, of course, you have people back in the day when they first started creating these characters, it was just about getting somebody out there, right? Mm-hmm. Well, and the biggest thing was, the X-Men are representative of Black people, and Xavier is this person, and Magneto is the opposite, and so on and so forth. Yep. But over time, when you have time to actually think about how these powers work and what they can actually do, that's when you get the great comeuppance, right? Mm-hmm. You get all this stuff happening. People are like, oh, you can explain this, and they're doing that. And we understand science more. Anunnakis. We understand, science more and are able to explain it. And I think people are, through TV, people are learning more. Like, for example, if we have a zombie outbreak, we've been training for fucking 10 years, right? Oh, yeah,
we're good.
Because we've seen the slow-moving, herds. We've seen the fast-running zombies. Most people, I won't say most, a lot of people know what to do now, more so than before all this stuff started happening, right? We got all these alien things coming out now. I think that's preparation. Disclosure day, right? So, over time, they have been able to up the powers or expand the powers of these characters because now they understand and people know more. So it's easier to explain to them how these powers work.
Yeah. And I as a fan, you got to appreciate the level of, Anunnaki science that goes into, It's not just, make this guy make snow and ice. No, there's a fucking explanation for exactly how this shit works that, I guess checks out. But it also drives home the point that, damn, did Fox fuck the X-Men up. Like,
oh, yeah.
I mean, even Bobby, we had Bobby in these movies. He was a little bitch ass fucking snowflake maker. The fuck was he doing the whole goddamn time,
I mean, but to be fair, I mean, when these characters came out in the comic books, they were nerfed to begin with.
Yes, true.
Now,
true.
over time, so by the time they hit, you as a reader, they were more advanced and stronger than when I was reading.
Right.
So now they're more evolved than both of us was introduced to these characters as. And it's good because they also evolve, right?
Right. Sure.
As an adult, we should evolve, especially when you become a parent, you start working, you start, doing different things, you evolve. So should they.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to evolve to the next segment here, Adrian. The next segment is The Road to Doomsday. The movie of the week this past week was Avengers Endgame. So this is a movie that I got some conflicting feelings about this movie, Adrian. I've seen this movie. But you know what I realized? I've not seen this movie a lot. I've seen parts of this movie a lot. I'm a big fan of putting on the Avengers Endgame battle, watching that on a big screen with the surround sound while I'm fucking hanging out. But I've not watched this movie in its entirety as much as I have all the other Avengers movies. And I think that partly the reason for that is, number one, the beginning of this movie is slow. This is a slow fucking movie in the beginning. And it's a long goddamn movie. This rewatch took me 3 fucking nights, bro. I watched about an hour a night. I think that they have amazing moments in this movie, but as a whole, I would probably say that Avengers Endgame is the worst Avengers movie. Now, I say worst, but all the Avengers movies are great, right?
Sure. So mid?
I wouldn't even say it's mid. It's just not as if Infinity War is an A+, and Avengers 1 and 2 are, A minus, I'd say Endgame's a B+. It's right. Now it has bigger and better moments though. I don't know that there's a comic book moment. I hate to call it a scene because it's like an hour scene, but the Endgame battle, there's nothing that comes close to that impact, that feeling in any other, I don't even want to just say comic book movie, in any other fucking movie, period.
Sure.
But that doesn't mean the entire movie was enjoyable.
Right.
I
get it.
A couple big things that watching this movie over really stand out that didn't at the time. Professor Hulk and Fat Thor. Yeah. It gets old, dude. Going back and watching it, it really, it's funny. I think the Professor Hulk thing more. The Thor stuff, it was funny, and then he kind of gets his resurrection at the end.
Sure.
But the weak fucking Hulk thing is obnoxious. That part's obnoxious. Now, that's my little nitpick, but let's talk about how amazing of an accomplishment this movie was. I mean, do you think about Infinity War, the snap, something that's never been done on screen? I mean, people compare that to, Empire Strikes Back, right? Villains win. Everybody's walking out the theater like, what just happened? I was at a banquet the other day for my daughter's gymnastics. I was talking to this couple, and they brought up that movie because, they know about the podcast, and they were like, the wife was like, man, walking out of Infinity War, I was pissed. It's like we sat there because they were not like huge comic book fans, they're fans of the movie. So it's good to hear their perspective. Sure. They're like, the snap, and then everyone's gone, and I'm like, that's it? Because they're expecting it's a superhero movie. Sure. Motherfuckers are going to come out of the dirt, right? We're going to stop Thanos. Nah, bro. You wait a fucking year to see that shit.
Right.
So this was a risk, right? To have this movie followed the next year. These movies were shot back to back. This is one of the most expensive films ever made. The official budget was somewhere between $350 and $400 million, dude. The marketing budget alone was like $200 million. So you're talking $600 million just to get this shit out the door. I think they did a great job of marketing this. We talked about this a little bit earlier, where the trailers really showed nothing past the first 20 minutes, which was great. They even altered some shit. Like, we didn't see Professor Hulk's bitch ass in the trailers at all. So the fact that it was teased, it was marketed in a very, cock teasing way, in a good way. It was just like Infinity War was it was filmed entirely in IMAX, so that end battle was insane. I think one of my, as much as I will tell you Infinity War is a better movie, Avengers Endgame is probably the most fun I've had at a movie theater. I went to the first showing. Now, when these movies came out, they didn't come out at 2 p.m. The first showings were at like 7 o'clock at night on Thursday. So I remember getting my tickets, getting to the theater early, waiting in fucking line, and sitting down. And it felt like watching a sporting event out in public with a bunch of fans. Dude, people, when Cap fucking wielded Mjolnir, bro, the theater erupted. Like, they're cheering like it's like they're cheering like the Knicks just won the finals or some shit. But it felt right. Sure. And even like when Sam goes on your left, do you hear literal like gasps in the theater, like, oh shit, that was awesome. I don't know that as much as, dude, I'm excited for Doomsday, Secret Wars. I don't know that feeling is ever, I don't know that I'm ever going to experience a feeling like that again in a theater. That was awesome. What else? This movie, the ultimate payoff, Tony Stark. I mean, his Tony's arc ends. It starts with the I am Iron Man in the original movie and literally says the same thing at the end of this as he sacrificed himself. I thought that was a great callback. I mean, the Steve Rogers writing kind of him out to be old man Steve. Now, some of these things now, though, look like maybe they were mistakes.
Sure.
Like, if we can go back, do we really need to kill off Iron Man?
Well, one, I think this is why it's so hard for you to watch this movie, because you really don't want to see Iron Man go. That whole thing. It has nothing to do with fucking Smart Hulk
That's part of it. That's part of it.
And Thor's fat ass and all that kind of stuff. You don't want to watch Tony die.
Yep. Let's get all teary-eyed, Adrian. Black Widow gets killed in this, and everyone's fucking dying.
All right. She didn't get killed. She killed herself.
Yeah, she did. She sacrificed
herself. She offed herself.
She did. It's just, and I get it. Hawkeye has kids and all that, but from a fan standpoint, get this motherfucker off my screen and bring her back. Come on. Shit. You know what was missing from this movie? Hank Pym. Why am I saying Hank Pym? Because when Tony is refusing to fuck around with the time travel stuff, they go to Bruce Banner, and that's why we have this stupid Professor Hulk. Well, because you can't have, angry Hulk in there fucking pressing the keys or whatever.
Sure.
So they give us Professor Hulk, bring him in there, because he's got to be kind of half a dumbass. He's not really, I feel like he ain't full Bruce Banner. He's got some Hulk in there.
Sure.
Hank Pym, I think, would have been a great character if we had a younger Hank Pym to fill in that role, so we don't have to have dumbass Professor Hulk. Because I'm watching these scenes and I'm like, man, Hulk working with Tony, that's awesome. But it just reminded me of how annoyed I am that we've never had a Hank Pym, Tony Stark, Bruce Banner. Like shit you see in the comics all the time.
Why is that anyway? Why did they bring in an ancient Hank Pym? But then they got all the other characters.
I know.
Now.
Like, yeah, of all, you fucked that one up.
Right.
Because we really needed Scott Lang's fucking Ant-Man. Come on. Fuck out of here. So that felt like, a big, and that's just maybe because it's fresh, because I just watched Ant-Man and the Wasp and I've been on this Hank Pym kick recently. But yeah, I think that was definitely a mistake in my opinion. But this movie, I mean, it's still a fun movie. It's a great movie. It's got some amazing scenes, but nothing really reaches the height of that battle. Everything from the first time hearing Cap say, Avengers Assemble, like that build up to that. Again, the Mjolnir. And dude, I love the setup. One of my favorite moments of this movie is not the action, is not the snap, is not, Thanos' head being cut off in the beginning. It is right before the battle. So Thanos attacks the Avengers complex, right? Everything's destroyed. He sends Nebula to go find the gauntlet. He takes his helmet off and he fucking sits down because he knows what's about to happen. It's just such true, Thanos is a badass.
Right.
So even though he knows, it's the Avengers there, he sits down and is like, let these motherfuckers come out here. And then you got the big three. You got Iron Man, Thor, and motherfucking Captain America. They meet up, they're walking, and now we still got fat Thor in the damn robe and shit. And they realize what happened. You got Tony with the classic, you mess with time, tends to mess back, whatever. And they see Thanos and what's he doing? He's like, nothing, just waiting. And I think Tony goes, it's a trap, right? And then this is when Thor becomes Thor again. He's like, yeah, but I don't really care. And maybe I'm messing up who says what. But then he fucking summons both Mjolnir and Stormbreaker. And then you see the transformation, the braided beard. I'm okay with a somewhat husky Thor because the real Thor, Norse mythology, is not fucking jacked and shredded.
Correct.
He's kind of a bulkier guy. So that doesn't bother me. It's just the rags and shit. Let's see. That was an awesome fucking scene. The thunder's cracking in the background. The sky's getting dark. And then he says, let's go kill him properly this time.
Right.
And they fucking walk. You see the three of them from behind. That's just I'm getting fucking goosebumps talking about it. That scene was set up perfectly. And then you got Thanos, the bars he's dropping, dude. He's like, what does he say? He goes, something about you couldn't live with yourself. You couldn't live with your failure, whatever. Where does that bring you? Right back to me. Shit's about to fucking go down. That was awesome. Of course, everything that follows it was phenomenal. But the setup, and you got to give credit to the Russos, the way that was shot, it's the small things. And I just, me, bro, I live in nuance. I like those little subtle details. That is literally my favorite part of that. Obviously, the battle's phenomenal. I mean, when our queen returns, Adrian, we got it right here. When she says, you took everything from me, this bitch ass, he says this.
I don't even know who you are.
And then she's like, oh, you will, motherfucker. Well, it's not rated R, but I think that's what she was going to say. And when she starts dissecting his damn armor, tearing him apart, bro, she would have killed him.
Right.
He had to turn the damn army. He had to turn the ship to shoot his own people to stop her. That is why she's Queen Wanda, Adrian, just because of that. But I mean, there's so many little spots in that, in that battle, phenomenal. So it was great to watch that piece again, and then the snap, and then the 2 hours later of everybody crying, and they're going back in the future, and this and that. Oh my God! But phenomenal movie, and I do think I say this now, but who knows? Depending on how backed up I am on watching content, I may go watch the re-release when it's put out in the theater. Endgame, Adrian. Do you agree with me?
But according to the Russo brothers, you don't have to watch it.
You have to watch nothing. No, you don't even have to fucking know who Dr. Doom. You have to know nothing. Nothing. It's ground zero. It's fucking starting from scratch. But I put together some numbers here. We always talk about box office, right?
Yep.
Here's the problem with box office numbers.
Hold on, let's clarify for the youths.
Yeah.
So box office is money generated from movies in theater.
Yep, ticket sales.
Ticket sales.
Ticket sales.
No streaming.
Nope.
No dolls.
Nope. No doll. No popcorn buckets.
Books, all that bullshit. Okay.
Nope.
Tickets. Got
Just tickets. Yep. So box office. But the problem with box office is they talk about the amount spent. So if a ticket costs $5 one year, and you're looking at that box office compared to another year where the ticket costs $10, well, half the amount of people could go to the movie and have the same box office results.
Sure.
Right?
Yep.
So from a box office standpoint, opening day, this movie, biggest single day in cinematic history, domestically, 157.4 million. But I wanted to talk about tickets sold to really put in perspective. Dude, this movie was a global fucking event. So 157 million based off the ticket prices, that is over 17 million tickets. So think about this shit. The one day, the first day this movie dropped, in the first 24 hours, over 17 million people in America went to see this movie. Okay? So that would be like every man, woman, and child in the entire state of New York going to see the movie. Like, that's how many fucking people it is. Okay, that's just one day. The first weekend, 1.2 billion it did in the first weekend. That equates to somewhere between, this is like your estimates, 135 to 150 million tickets. Let's call it 150 million people, or let's say 140 million people, over a 3-day weekend. That is the equivalent to the entire population of Japan or Mexico.
Aren't Taylor Swift concerts about that big?
No, nothing is about. Adrian, the answer is nothing is about that big. Now, the total run. Now, obviously, this is where we get a little, people could have gone to see it 2, 3, 4, 10 times.
Sure. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, though. So this movie did just under 2.8 billion. It was the number one movie for a little bit. Then James Cameron put Avatar back in 12 times to fucking inflate the sales.
I think that's bullshit. And those
number
numbers shouldn't have counted.
So this is number one. This is my number one.
Exactly.
So fuck you. 310 to 350 million tickets. Let's say 330. Let's meet somewhere in the middle. So when it was finally over, 330 million tickets have been sold worldwide. That is more than the entire population of the U.S. That is the equivalent to every living citizen in the U.S. buying a ticket to see that movie and then some. Dude, 330 million people within whatever, how many months this thing went out, went to see this shit.
And what portion of the population would that be for China?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, fucking 2 blocks.
Which we should probably discuss this and other stuff. Like, I think they're like blowing the numbers up about China because remember, China had this. You can only have like 2 child. It
was one kid for a while,
one kid rule,
yeah, for
right?
a long time.
Some fucking rule. So how can they be at these, extraordinary numbers if for like 50 fucking years they can only have 1 kid?
Right.
So anyway,
who the fuck knows? We don't. But
I mean, besides that, they built all these fucking cities and nobody's in them. So obviously they don't have all these people all over the place, right? Fucking ghost cities.
Yep, it's bullshit. They're lying to us. Well, they're not lying to us about this. Almost 300 or somewhere around 330 million motherfuckers went to see this movie. I mean, dude, this movie was a global event. I don't know that we get back there. As great as Doomsday can be and all this shit, I don't know if we'll ever see this again in the theaters, dude. That's crazy. But remains to be seen.
Remains to be seen.
Would you agree with me, Adrian, that Infinity War is a better movie than Endgame?
Sure.
Would you agree that Endgame is the worst Avengers movie?
Sure.
So even Age of Ultron is a better overall movie than Endgame.
Okay.
I mean, I think so.
Wait a minute. So what movie are they going to re-release?
Endgame.
So since Cameron did the bullshit that he did,
yep,
can they roll Endgame's re-release numbers into Doomsday?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, they will.
I'm just saying.
So, Cameron, get ready for the big purple tea bag. Get ready for it, because it's coming. It's coming. Knock you fucking blue creatures out of here, dude. Endgame's back. The true biggest movie of all time. So, anyways, next week we change up a little bit. It's not a movie, Adrian. It's Loki season 1, because that takes place right after Endgame. I mean, that was another great thing that Endgame gave us, was Loki picking up the Tesseract when they fuck up their little plan, and he bounces. And then he goes on this hell of a fucking run. A show like, dude, who would have thought that when it was announced? Like, dude, I mean, I'm a Loki guy. I like Loki. Sure. He's fun. He's great.
Well, after the fact.
Yes. But who would have thought that a Loki show would have been that good?
Right.
Like, I mean, I think when we finished season 2, we both said it was the best MCU show. Is there a show you put above that?
No, not really. I mean, so MCU?
Yep.
No. But then you got Penguin. It's like, who the fuck thought that would happen either, right?
Yeah, it's right on the other side. Yeah, I mean, shit, especially with DC. You're like, fuck.
Any news on that coming out?
The last thing I heard was we won't get a second season, if we do, until after the Batman 2.
Okay.
Which comes out next year, which will be here before we fucking know it, dude. I mean, you know how pissed I was when they pushed it back. Yeah, but I guess Now, I got so mad they started speeding up the time stream, so it kind of backfired. So it's okay. Don't worry about it. All right, so next week, first season of Loki. We're gonna watch that, and we'll be revisit. I'm looking forward to revisiting that. It's a great fucking show, and you get to see your boy Jonathan Majors, he who remains, before he didn't remain anymore, because Marvel. That's kind of fucked up. You gave him a character that said "He who remains,"
right?
And then you fucking get rid of him. Shit.
Hey.
Yeah, that's how they do it, Adrian. But
that's what they do, man. Build us up and then take the shit away.
Absolutely. Yep. All right. So speaking of building it up and taking the shit away, Spider-Man's web. So I wanted to explain, Adrian. Maybe this will help you accept the organic webs a little more, or it may fucking piss you off even more. So we're gonna see what happens here.
Yo, I'm in my philosophical mode. Right?
Okay.
So therefore, I don't give a shit.
All right, look at that. So why did Spider-Man get organic webs in the comics, you ask? So the real reason this happened was because of the success of Spider-Man, the 2002 Sam Raimi's film. In that movie, you just rewatched this, Adrian, and like you say, you're like, oh shit, I didn't even realize he had the fucking organic webs. Peter Parker has organic webs in that movie. It's the first time we've seen them. And when we see this a lot, we see, obviously the movies are based on comics, but there's a lot of times where things happen in TV shows or in movies that then work their way back into comics. I mean, Harley Quinn was created in Batman the Animated Series, and then they added her to comic books and movies and so on and so forth. So this organic web was created in this Spider-Man movie, the 2002 version. But in the comics, here's how they did it. They didn't just have his powers naturally evolve. They introduced some weird fucking villain and forced a rapid traumatic mutation, pretty much. So in the 2024 Spectacular Spider-Man storyline called Changes, Peter goes up against a villain known as the Queen, Anna Soria. You ever heard of this bitch?
No.
She is an immortal mutant with the ability to control anyone who possesses the insect gene, which we learn in this comic that Spider-Man has that.
God. Really?
So, it gets wacky, dude. So the Queen captures Spider-Man. She forces herself on him. She slips that tongue all down his throat. During the kiss, she infects him with this highly volatile genetic enzyme designed to completely rewrite his DNA. And it forces this horrific mutation. So over the next few days, Peter's body deteriorates and he physically transforms into this human-sized spider, dude. A mindless fucking monstrosity. A giant spider. Then what happens? Well, this is where it gets crazy sci-fi, fucking body horror type shit. So when he's in this mindless giant spider form, he's under complete control of the Queen. Not our Queen Wanda, this other fucking Spider Queen bitch. But the mutation is unstable. So the giant spider body eventually collapses and dies. So she kisses him, she turns him into this spider, a mindless spider that she's controlling. Shit don't last that long. The spider dies. Okay. Well, the spider was actually a cocoon, Adrian. The dead spider's exoskeleton splits open, and you know what pops out this motherfucker? A fully healed Peter Parker. What's up, bitches? I'm back.
Wow.
Yes, he hatches from his own dead spider body, but his DNA has been altered. He now discovers that he's got these organic web glands in his forearms. He no longer needs his web shooters, his mechanical ones. He can produce and shoot webbing directly from his wrist, which perfectly mirrors the Tobey Maguire film version. So that is why he had organic webs in the comic. And then of course it's comics. They get all, he has them and then he doesn't. They don't explain why. And sometimes they do. I don't know, my God. But that's why this motherfucker had webs coming out of his wrists.
Stay tuned for only stuff. There's going to be a lot more confusing things going on.
Okay, other stuff?
Yep.
But that's kind of, that's a sick ass fucking origin here. Like, giant spider, Queen controls, body hatches, Peter Parker comes out resurrected, and he now has webs coming out of his fucking wrist.
Except for the web shit, it's kind of like what happened with Jean, right? She was in a cocoon under the river. Somebody else was kind of took her place, Madeline Pryor, right? And then all of a sudden she hatches out of her shit. But that's more plausible. It makes more sense than some random queen that shows up to do some magic, which how does
and then he turns into a spider, a giant spider.
No, apparently he doesn't turn into a giant spider. A giant spider forms around his cocoon body,
right?
Which he's inside of it like a fucking kidney or something, right? Because when the spider dies, he's there.
Yeah, he just pops out.
Yeah.
Like that's a wacky way to give him some organic fucking web shooter.
Right.
So I'm hoping they don't go full giant spider in this movie. I don't need to see that shit.
It would make more sense if he just like he got his powers.
Yes.
He slept it off for a day or two.
Yeah.
Sweated it out, woke up
Right.
all fucked up, and they just kind of organically grew.
Right, like a second mutation, right?
Right.
And I think that based off of the short little teaser or the trailer we saw, they do make it seem like this is the second part of his mutation. They say something about spiders go through several cycles,
Sure.
yada yada yada. So that would make more sense that this is just something dormant, maybe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the first phase was the spidey sense, the gripping to the walls,
Right.
and the agility and the
healing
strength,
shit.
the healing. That's and then a few years later, because you got to remember too, this Spider-Man, Peter's been Spider-Man for like 4 or 5 years, not like 20 years or anything. So it would make sense, or I would understand it if that was the case in this movie, where this is just the second part of his spider mutation that all of a sudden now he's shooting he's skeeting webs out of his wrist, Adrian.
Yeah, but you would think that they would also give him something else to,
Yeah.
amp up his strength, put him in the 50-ton class or some
Yeah.
shit, make him even faster, make him fucking, maybe blast teleport, something other than, come on.
But the webs, I think, are a lot stronger because in the trailer we saw when he grabbed the sword from the hand,
Right.
and literally snaps the sword in pieces.
Yeah.
I don't know that he's doing that with his fucking web shooter webs.
Well,
So-
two things. The webs have to stick to the thing and have the tensile strength to survive his strength pulling this shit. So I guess.
Yeah, so maybe now, but to your point, is there anything else, right? Like, so he's
Right.
got webs coming out of his wrist. They seem to be stronger than his, or his webs he created. But what else is there?
Right.
I would assume it's probably going to give him some. Maybe his spider senses are a little heightened or expand because we haven't seen a lot of his spider sense in the MCU.
Right.
They kind of nerf that shit.
Sure.
Like they always do. Wolverine can't smell shit and Spider-Man can't fucking sense anything. So, anyways, that being said, Adrian, it is time for a motherfucking hidden gem. Who do we have this week? Is it Erica Kirk?
No.
Damn it.
No.
I always guess. Always
Thought
get
about
wrong.
it, though.
Yeah, okay. Maybe next time.
Maybe she should add a cape to her ensemble and shit. so when she jumps up, she
Yes.
fucking shit. Anyway, we don't have a who.
Oh, shit.
We have a bunch of who's.
Okay, I thought you said we have a what, like Little John. Who,
No.
what? No, okay.
No, so this week's hidden gem is the Morlocks.
Oh, nice.
Right. So the Morlocks, we kind of touched on them a couple weeks ago or last week maybe, or was it yesterday? Who knows?
Who knows? At some point between last week and this week.
Exactly. So basically they were not entirely wiped out, but the majority of them were. And here's the story. They were a subterranean community of mutant outcasts who, due to their physical disfigured mutations, were unable to pass as normal humans in surface society. So basically, they were mutants, but they were so disfigured that people would like gawk at them and make fun of them, probably try to kill them, all this other kind of shit, just off their appearance. Then you add in the mutant factor, right? So they took the name from the underground race in the H.G. Wells novel, The Time Machine. You ever seen that?
No.
Oh, dude, that's classic.
Really?
Classic H.G. Wells. He goes so far into the future where there's nothing but these Morlocks, right? And they're humans. They're regular humans. They live underground, but they're being controlled by these. Actually, the Morlocks aren't the humans. The Morlocks are the people that are the things that's calling the humans. They're like monsters.
Okay.
So they got these humans trained. They can't talk, right? They communicate by grunts and shit. But these Morlocks would summon them so they can eat them. And that's all they were. Humans were cattle at that point in the future.
Damn.
So anyway, that's where they got the name from. They chose isolation over the constant hate and fear of the human world. So the tunnels they lived in was a community set up and called the Alley. It's a massive forgotten grid of subterranean government bomb shelters under New York and sewage tunnels built beneath Manhattan during the 1950s. The core community was founded by Callisto. She teamed up with Caliban, combining forces to comb the surface world, rescuing mutants being prosecuted for their looks, and then bringing them down to the safety of the tunnels.
Who Caliban we saw in Logan, he can track mutants.
Right. So Callisto, as a mutant, her powers were, she had enhanced physical senses, hyperacute sight, smell, taste, hearing, and touch, kind of like a Wolverine, right? She also had a tactical mutant ability that allowed her to instantly intuit the perfect strategy, kind of like Karnak from the Inhumans, the perfect strategy or physical solution to any combat scenario. She's an expert hunter, tracker, and knife fighter. Now, keep that in mind, Callisto. Her mutant ability allows her to instantly intuit the perfect strategy or physical solution to any combat scenario. Hold that. Caliban. He has a unique tracking ability to sense and locate other mutants across vast distances. His powers expand. His power expands based on his proximity to him. His physical form originally featured chalk white skin and large, round, yellow eyes. Sunder, a massive towering mutant who possesses superhuman strength and dense, near impenetrable physical skin. Mask, a deeply bitter mutant with the terrifying power of biokinetic shapeshifting or flesh molding. By touching someone, she could physically alter their face and body. Plague, she was the biohazardous. She has the biohazardous power of disease manipulation. Her body acts as a breeding ground for every known sickness, virus, and bacteria. With a simple touch, she can instantly infect a target with a rapid onset, fatal plague. So these are the founding or the key members of the Morlocks, right? So imagine you got some disfigured people. You got all the worst, physically worst, except for Callisto. You have the physically worst looking people with some of the most power, and they're angry about it. So that's what the Morlocks started out with, basically.
Damn.
So life underground was defined by harsh survivalist culture that rejected surface world norms, operating under a gang-like social structure with a strong rule. The strongest survive, right? Because they were cut out from society, they routinely raided the surface world to steal food, clothing, and basic necessities. They originally clashed with the X-Men when Callisto kidnapped Angel, Warren Worthington III, right? She was so enamored with him, she called him the most beautiful man in all the world and intended to force him to be with her as her royal consort and mate. Now, she forced him, meaning like she kidnapped him, raped him, all this other kind of stuff. So it's a whole thing. So they weren't consensual lovers.
Did she videotape it like Diddy or no? You saw the tape, bro?
No.
Oh, yeah. It was a freak off tape with Diddy and 50 Cent's one of his ex-baby mama. And they brought this, they had a male escort in there and Diddy was just watching him do his thing, bro. Yeah,
really?
That's other stuff. You check that shit out online somewhere. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Oh, shit.
Anyways, side note. So they didn't do that, is what you're saying.
No. Okay. Her affection was non-consensual obsession rooted in, we're talking about your movie, Obsession, rooted in power and designed to possess his beauty. During his captivity, the Morlocks bound Angel and even cruelly mutilated his wings by hacking away his primary feathers to ground him permanently. So that was the beginning of the end, him, emotionally, why he ended up with, what's his face? And got the metal wings.
Oh, Apocalypse. Yeah.
Right. So that's how all that shit got started.
Okay. So that's how he end up losing his wings.
Correct. So Storm's rise to power, the duel, to rescue Angel, right? And to save young Kitty Pryde, who had been infected with a near fatal virus from plague, Storm descended into the tunnels and invoked the Morlock Law. I remember these comics. I remember it, like even up to the point where, anyway, I get to that. So she challenged Callisto to a brutal trial by combat for leadership of the Underground. The duel was strictly hand-to-hand with no mutant powers allowed. Furthermore, Storm was already burning with a fever from the harsh underground environment. So she goes in, basically one hand tied behind her back, because she's underground dealing with all this bullshit, and no powers are allowed.
Damn.
Callisto heavily underestimated the elegant X-Man. So remember I said before about Callisto's powers, right? So she can strategically figure out the advantages of shit, right? She's supposed to be this great warrior, but apparently all of her skill was based on her mutant ability. Where Storm came from the streets in Cairo and shit, right?
Yep.
So she had all this shit. So she was able to, she actually killed Callisto. Storm did. Stabbed her through the heart because she knew that she had a healer. So she wasn't going to actually kill her, but she had to kill her in order to, win this fight.
She defeated her.
Yes. So by doing so, while the strike was lethal, Storm knew that the Morlock's mutant healer would immediately stabilize and resurrect Callisto, but by Morlock law, the act of killing the sitting leader instantly made Storm the rightful queen of the Underground. Upon taking the throne, Storm's acts were to command an immediate halt on all criminal surface raids, and to offer the Morlocks complete sanctuary in Xavier schools, which they rejected multiple times. Because Storm could not realistically live in the sewage tunnels while simultaneously leading the X-Men at the time, she made a fatal administrative decision. She appointed a recovering Callisto as her regent to govern the day-to-day operations. The choice defined her tenure as an absentee ruler, creating heavy systematic flaws. So because the Storm's attention was divided by the X-Men conflicts, including temporarily losing her own elemental powers and her long absence, her decree against surface raiding bred immense resentment among the warlocks who relied on those raids to survive. So she's the leader. She leaves. She put the person that she killed back in control with the rule, hey, don't go and raid the surface. But they need to raid the surface in order to get the shit that they need. So they kind of pissed off.
Yeah.
With Storm away and Callisto politically humiliated by her loss, the cruel bioshifter Mask began exploring the community's bitterness. He quietly amassed a following by mocking Storm's surface privileges and gradually took de facto control of the younger, angrier factions. Gambit. So Gambit's involved in this, right? Because he was heavily and tragically involved in the setting up this slaughter. So what eventually happened was, because of Storm's absenteeism, there was a mutant massacre. The villain Sinister, of course, discovered that the Morlock's genetic signature was built upon stolen research notes from his alternate dimension counterpart, the Dark Beast. So he looked at them like they were polluted experiments and compromised his life's work. So he ordered their total eradication.
Damn.
So the Master Thief Gambit, Remy LeBeau, he was heavily and tragically involved in setting up this slaughter by Sinister. So early in his life, Gambit's biokinetic energy, we talked about this, right?
Oh, yeah, a few weeks ago. Yeah.
His biokinetic energy powers grew dangerously out of control. He sought out Sinister, surgically altered a portion of Gambit's brain to bring his powers down.
Fucking lobotomized him.
Yep. To pay for his debt, Sinister demanded one final job. The assignment was that Sinister hired Gambit to assemble a ruthless band of mutant mercenaries known as the Marauders, including Sabretooth, and utilize his tracking skills to lead them directly into the hidden Morlock tunnels. Gambit did not know that the mission was mass slaughter. He believed they were merely helping Sinister track down a group of hidden mutants. So Sinister say, "Hey, go find these mutants." Shirt cocking boy say, "Hey, go find these mutants." What's the difference?
Right.
Well, what ends up happening?
Yeah.
the horrific realization, once they reached the mutants, the Marauders immediately opened fire on the defenseless Morlocks. Gambit tried to intervene and stop the slaughter, but Sabretooth turned on them, nearly killing them.
Of course he did.
So Gambit was forced to flee, but managed to sneak out a single orphan Morlock child named Sarah, who grew up to become Marrow. The Marauders systematically hunted down and slaughtered hundreds of men, women, and children in cold blood. By the time Storm and her team arrived to honor their leadership vow of protection, the islands were already flowing with blood. During the frantic defense, Storm's leadership collapsed in a disaster. 3 of her core X-Men, Kitty Pryde, Nightcrawler, and Colossus, suffered catastrophic long-term injuries while trying to hold the line. It's a lot of shit.
Yeah.
The surviving Morlocks who did not fall into the hands of Apocalypse faced a bizarre fate. Colossus' reality warping brother, Mikhail. So Colossus, he had sister.
Yep. Magic.
Magic. And then his brother, who could do reality warping shit, minus the hula hoop, I'm assuming.
Damn it.
Flooded the remaining tunnels to fake the deaths of the survivors. Instead of drowning them, he transported them to a harsh pocket dimension known as the Heel. So they basically were taken to a new dimension. They kind of started over. And in this new place. So the birth of the Gene Nation in the temporal distortion of the Heel, time moved much faster. Under Mikhail's cruel rule of survival of the fittest, a younger, hyper-violent generation of Morlocks grew up. They didn't remember the peaceful days of the tunnels. They only knew hardship and an intense hatred for the surface world that had abandoned their parents. I won't go into that. So Sarah, the little girl that Gambit saved, grew up in this dimension into this hardened terrorist Marrow. She possessed the mutant power to accelerate her bone growth, ripping her own bones out of her flesh to use as knives and clubs. So not Wolverine ejecting a bone out of his wrist and then retracting them. She could just rip her shit out, make it into a knife, and then just, fuck it, leave it on the ground somewhere.
It'll just grow back?
Yep.
Shit.
So Storm ultimately defeated Marrow in a rematch of leadership, literally ripping Marrow's extra heart out. She had an extra heart too, to stop a bomb detonating. She survived due to her own anatomy, but Marrow was later forced to join the X-Men to learn a better path toward mutant coexistence. So Storm shows up every once in a while, fixes some shit, then goes away, let it simmer and burn everything the fuck down. So she should have just stayed out of it. So years later, after the survivors had fractured into Gene Nation and the community had scattered, the toxic dynamic between Storm and the Morlock founders finally evolved. Storm eventually relinquished the title of Morlock leaders, recognizing that an outsider could never truly speak for the subterranean outcasts. Having faced each other as mortal enemies, Storm and Callisto transitioned into an uneasy alliance, probably like Magneto and Chucky, which eventually solidified into profound mutual respect and genuine friendship. When Callisto later required assistance during the various mutant crises, Storm was often the first to stand by her side. So this has been, later on they evolved from, under Manhattan, they went to like London and Chicago and different places. But, you can imagine that this group of people just growing all over the place, but they did it subterraneanly. Now, did they ever run into the Mole Man? Who knows? The Mole Man was DC, right?
No, it's Marvel. Yeah.
So did they ever run into the Mole Man? Did the Mole Man provide them sanctuary or some kind of place?
He looks like he could be fucking one of them. So, right. Shit, fits right in.
But so you had this. So Eric, when we talk about mutants, we always talk about like the X-Men because they're pretty much the only ones. Or you might get into the Hellfire Club or some things like that. But you got this whole other group of superpower. They probably got some Omega level mutants in there too.
Sure.
It's just that they grew up where they give birth to and they cultivate this certain mentality. If they're disfigured, they can't be out in the public, on the surface because of all the things that bring. So it kind of makes them, so they're separated from the surface, but they're dependent on the surface because they have to go and fucking steal and do all this other kind of stuff.
Right.
Now, could the mole man show them how to live underground properly? Or have they by now figured out a way to do it on their own?
Right.
So, but anyway, the Morlocks, I thought they've always been an interesting group because they've pretty much been wiped out. You don't really hear about them, which makes them a perfect hidden gem.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely. Well, that's awesome, dude. Morlocks, it's funny because you discovered them in comics. You're going through this and it's bringing you back the comic books of seeing, or seeing that fight. I remember the X-Men animated series, they did a good job of incorporating the Morlocks.
Okay.
They did that story. Callisto's in there. She fights Storm. So as you're saying that, it's like you're getting the flashback from comics. I'm getting the flashback from X-Men, the animated series. Right. But they did a phenomenal job of, incorporating them. Then there was a little guy, what's the little fucking green guy's name? I forget his fucking name, but he's the one that Magneto, he's in X-Men 97. Magneto said he would save him, and then they end up fucking...
Caliban?
Nope, not Caliban. Hold on, I'm gonna... Morlocks, Marvel. He's a little fucking fella. He is... Leech.
Oh, yeah.
Good old Leech. Yep. He's helpless, right? And that goes back to what we talked about with Apocalypse and why he has issues with Magneto.
Right.
Apocalypse would be like, fuck these Morlocks. They're weak, right?
Well, he literally did that.
Yeah.
And that's why he sent the Marauders after them because he was like, well, somebody stole my work.
Yeah.
Right. And created these beings. So that's egg in my face. So he sent these Marauders out to just wipe them out.
Right.
So he literally did that. Like, fuck all of them.
Yep. Although he scooped up Caliban and fucking enhanced him. But Leech, he get this bitch ass out of here. But Magneto's like, dude, you're a mutant. I got your back. Whether you're an Omega level, whether you're a fucking bullshit bitch ass level,
right.
I got your back. It's crazy though. You think about, we talk about the X-Men all the time and how they are an example for an oppressed group of people, right? So not only are the Morlocks part of that group where they're already being looked at a certain way from society, but a lot of mutants can just blend into society because they look like humans. These motherfuckers can't blend in anywhere. So you got twofold. Not only are you a mutant, you's an ugly ass motherfucking mutant, or you're very obvious, you can't fit into society. Correct. So because, Scott can go out with his glasses and nobody knows he's a mutant.
Right.
Chuck can go out with his blanket and no one knows he's a fucking mutant as long as he's not shirt cocking around,
Right.
Do you think he has to use his noodle telepathically or I don't know. But anyways, the Morlocks, they can't fucking go out anywhere.
Right.
So they're, double oppressed, I guess. They've gone through some shit, dude. So Morlocks. And then this again is one of those things where they've done a great job in comics, animation. We've yet to see any real Morlock shit on screen. We've seen Caliban on screen a couple times. He was in the Logan movie, and then he actually was in X-Men Apocalypse, where we see, Apocalypse use him and whatnot.
For some reason, Caliban in the Logan movies, he seemed taller than I would imagine Caliban to be in the comics.
Why is he a shorter mutant?
I don't know. He just seemed odd to me in the Logan movie. Yeah. It was cool to see him there.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah. He was like the father figure. He was like the mom of the house, bro. Right. He was like, it was funny how far, because it took place so far in the future, there's no more X-Men, there's none of this shit. These guys are they're like old men, fucking arguing about, who cleaned the house and, it's your turn to go feed the fucking invalid,
Yep.
But, another amazing hidden gem, the good old motherfucking Morlocks, You can say motherfucking in front of anything and it sounds better, Just about. Just about, Like if I go, guys, this is Adrian, or I go, this is motherfucking Adrian, you know? It's just, I think it's a little better. Like, we're about to do motherfucking We Respond, Adrian. So we got some comments. We got some good ones, some bad ones, some in the middle. You know, the thing about, once I started putting these who the fuck is segments on TikTok, I'm getting a lot less bad comments, you know? It's harder to find them. We're getting a lot more comments, a lot more positive ones, so it's hard to find the bad ones. So, you know, it's... Anyways, but let's start with Spotify. Shout out to everybody watching us on Spotify. Spotify comments, we got F Bogey 1. He says, AWOB shirt cockers. What the fuck? Apocalypse was amazing. Best podcast ever. I agree with all that. C says, AWOB fellas. And if you don't know what AWOB is, it's another week, another banger. Because just like Marvel, Adrian, you can start watching this podcast today. You don't have to watch all the past episodes.
Right.
We're at ground zero. We're just scratching the surf, whatever the fuck you said. We're just scratching our nuts. AWOB, fellas. Glad the X-Men are getting their due, and Apocalypse has to be the next big bad, and hopefully we get it right. I mean, yes, dude. Right. He could fucking blow everybody away, dude. Going through the road to Doomsday with my girlfriend who hasn't seen the movies and she loves them. Nice. But how are we not going to glaze Thor's moment in Infinity War, best scene of all of the MCU? Oh, you know what? That is a great point. You think about these movies, there's so much that happens in there. Right. But Thor's Infinity War, really everything about him in that movie, from being beat up in the beginning, having his brother killed, and then when he holds, I mean, I think about what he did to help the dwarf make his axe, where he holds that fucking shit open and takes the full force of a star, dude. This ain't like somebody, you know, put a lighter on your arm, dude. This is a goddamn, it's like our sun. Right. It's like standing in front of the sun and projecting that energy, and he literally takes that shit long enough so that, you know, he can mold the axe. And his, dude, when he shows up in Wakanda, that, I agree with C's here. That is one of the best MCU scenes, period. Right. When, you know, the sky goes dark and purple again, and this motherfucker comes down with the lightning. He's got Groot, he's got Rocket, and he bring me Thanos. And then, of course, he doesn't kill him properly. Right. But, dude, that was an awesome scene. Yeah. You even got, what's his name, Mark Ruffalo's big-headed ass. Oh, you guys are screwed now, because I can't turn into Hulk because I didn't take my green chew, you know? Fucking A. All right, Bryson, another week, another motherfucking banger. So he gets it. Thanks for doing my hidden gem prodigy. Oh, that was yours last week, Adrian. So shout out to Bryce. That was a good suggestion. He's been one of my favorites for a while now. Here's a new one, Hit Monkey. Here's a deep dive request, Ravonna Renslayer. Oh, that's a good one. She's, what's his name? Kang's little booski, you know? And who we actually seen in Loki. So maybe we'll do something on Ravonna next week. Mr. Huddy, sir, says, for Spider-Man Noir, they took the same Spider-Man from the Spider-Verse, which is an older 40 or 50. So them showing Nick Cage being older makes it, bro. We know what the fuck. Now you got me hitting the clock. You're pissed. We know what the fuck they did. All we're saying is Nick Cage looks fucking old. Yeah. Like, what are you, his fucking buddy? Like, you upset about? He fucking looks old. He's like 72 years old. I know it's from the Spider-Verse. No fucking shit, Captain Obvious. Really? Guess where Spider-Man's from? He's from Marvel Comics, jackass. I mean, come on, bro. But we love you. It's okay, Mr. Huddy.
You've been a little rough there, Mike. Being a little rough.
I mean, like, we know where he came from, dude. Yeah. We got it. Just pick up on the humor. We're just saying he looks fucking old because he looks old. It's okay. No one's mad. Why you watching in black and white?
You could have got a 40, 50-year-old to play that.
You could that too?
I mean, just, specifically Nick Cage.
Right. But I get it. He voiced the character there, sure. And that's why you watch it in black and white, so you don't have to see all the fucking wrinkles and shit, you know? Right. So, Nate, AWOB, you said Infinity War Endgame was your favorite MCU movie. Infinity War is your favorite not MCU. You're asking, like, is my favorite movie not an MCU movie? I don't know what my fucking favorite movie is, dude. I don't know. Do you have a favorite movie, Agents? No. And for you, it was The Matrix for a while, right?
I mean, if I had to put a pin in a favorite movie, that would be it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know that I have a favorite movie, dude. I'm not.
But it's like food guy. Now, dude. It's like you just had so much. It's like I don't even fucking know. I can tell you some of my favorite movies.
Right. I'll give you a list, sure.
But overall one, I don't know.
I mean, I would say this may kind of answer your question, Nate. For comic book movies, my favorite comic book movie is Across the Spider-Verse. So
Okay.
I would put that above Infinity War. I always say that is, you want someone to understand why we love comic books and you don't want to read a comic, watch that movie. That movie's a comic book come to life,
Right.
So I would put that up there. Metalhead Dad says, A-Way, it's not a way, it's AWAB. I know, he just hit the wrong key. It's okay.
Right.
AWAB, guys, another great show, and I'm down with all the X-Men talk. As far as people bitching about the show, my mom always taught me, if you have nothing nice to say, you know the rest. Yeah, shut the fuck up. Is that what your mom said? How many podcasts out there actually interact with their listeners and viewers like you guys do? Let me tell you, probably fucking not many. The fact that we can nominate a character for you guys to talk about, cough, Death's Head, cough, is, I think he's trying to get you to talk about Death's Head, Adrian, is, I think, pretty sweet. Just enjoy it. Or just don't listen, watch, whatever. I enjoy what you guys do. Keep it up. That's a perfect mentality.
Exactly.
Either fucking like us or don't. Like, you don't have to watch.
All right.
I promise you I won't be upset, dude. Like, it's okay. Because we got this guy here, his name is Fats, and he says, I'm new to the show. I love it. Keeping it real, fellas.
Nice.
My man Fats. So why don't y'all be more like Fats instead of being like these people? Do you know why this happened? Shut the fuck up. Here's my thing. Do your own podcast. Do your own podcast. I got people on these deep dives, dude. I fucking spend, you know what you mean. You do Hidden Gem every week. You know the type of time that goes into these things.
Yeah.
And I do this amazing fucking break. I spend time editing, cutting out all the bullshit. 99% of the comments like, oh my God, we loved it. Oh my God, I'm watching it all day. You get one person. One person. Well, that wasn't right, what you said about this thing, right? Bitch, shut the fuck. You do your own. Do your own.
You know what? They might be right.
Maybe.
Hey, we might not be right about what we're saying in that moment. That's why we just sitting there talking shit.
Right.
That's why we tell you what. Research this shit.
Correct.
Fucking do your own fucking research.
Enjoy it or don't, bro. Enjoy it or don't. So we got some YouTubers here. The Sci-Fact says, let's get it. AWAB, that X-Men trailer. Yes. And then the Black Flash 25 says, bro, I've been waiting for this episode all week. AWAB, fellas. Well, guess what, Black Flash? You got a fucking another one right here. Let's see. We got Dr. Bankroll. This channel is slowly turning into crack. Best things to happen to Monday since Monday Night Football. I like you, Dr. Bankroll. I agree. Darnell Williams says, two of the realest mofos online. Read some mangas. Okay. And then let's see, and shout out to all the interns out there. Akima Moore says, AWAB, guys, I said it before and I'll continue to say it. Damson Idris is the best choice to play Black Panther. I think he would. I mean, he's definitely got the look. He's got the range and the look. John David Washington looks too goofy to pull it off, such a strong character. Even though I love Lakeith Stanfield, he has too much of a laid-back, relaxed vibe with insightful stoicism. Okay.
I agree with Idris.
Yeah. Out of those three, I think Idris, absolutely. I see what he's saying about John David Washington. He does kind of feel a little, good, but that doesn't mean he can't switch up for this role.
Sure.
And I'm just thinking, I mean, you're Denzel Washington's son. You probably got it in you. I mean, if Denzel was younger, do you imagine Denzel playing T'Challa? A younger Denzel?
I got so much time with Denzel. I couldn't.
Really?
Actually, no.
You don't think he could pull it off?
No, I'm not saying he couldn't pull it off.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that I couldn't picture him as T'Challa.
I'm just, dude, a younger fucking Denzel, I think would. He's too old now. I mean, again, someone will be like, he's older because they took it. Shut up. I don't want an old T'Challa. I want to. Is that okay? Shit. Maple Grove, man, we haven't heard from Maple Grove in a minute. He's from across the pond, as they say. AWAB, guys, speaking of the liminal spaces, I recently read Batman Court of Owls saga. Incredible, by the way. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
And they do something in that which reminded me of this. The secret rooms on the I remember this part? The secret rooms on the 13th floors of the buildings that the Court of Owls use for their bases. Kind of makes you think. I mean, you've been in buildings where you can't go on a 13th floor, right? Yep. A lot of buildings in New York don't have they don't have 13th floors. Or maybe they do. And maybe they're hiding. Maybe the fucking Court of Owls are there, Adrian. Dark Side Raider says, let's fucking go. He says, AWAB, can't wait for X-Men 97 season 2. Let's see. We got the Captain Canada AWAB boys. Man, movies for me, a limited nowadays with a 6-month-old. Yeah, I remember those days, Adrian. You can't just go up to the, well, you could. You wouldn't be a good dad. I'm out. Go to the fucking movies. Deal with the kid yourself, Right.
Or you take the kid and then he's like pissing on everybody else's day.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't be that asshole that goes to Doomsday and brings your 8-month-old. He don't want to see it, bro.
Right?
She don't want to see it. Fucking find a babysitter. Shit. Or just leave him with your wife. She don't really need to see Doomsday.
What should be the minimal age that someone should go to Doomsday? I'm not talking about any movie.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Doomsday.
God, I'm thinking 10, maybe, depending on how mature the 10-year-old is. Because it's going to be over 2.5, maybe 3 hours. Right. So it's not even just will they sit there and shut the fuck up for that long?
Right. I gotta pee. Have some popcorn.
Yeah.
And some sneaker.
When's it over? Yeah. How much longer? Shut the fucking fuck up.
Where's mommy?
Jesus.
Yeah.
He says that I'm definitely going with the missus to see Spider-Man in July and maybe Supergirl. Yeah, you got to really pick your, be strategic here. The Russos tricked us again. They said they thought they were going to drop the trailer, but instead they showed us Doom's coffee. Come on. They did show like some fucking Dr. Doom coffee shit. X-Men 97 season 2 looks amazing. Can't wait. And yes, we need a new T'Challa. Yes. Apocalypse Deep Dive is awesome. The movie sucks so bad. Let's get The Rock on board for the role and get him right. I wouldn't mind The Rock as Apocalypse. Infinity War is just awesome. Top 5 for sure. I still remember the theater experience for both Infinity War and Endgame. Russos won't disappoint in Doomsday. I agree. And the Wolverine game trailer looks phenomenal, Mike. Bloody as it should be, and the healing factor. Oh yeah, dude. There's a scene, or not a scene, it's gameplay where Wolverine's fucking chopping up these guys and there's blood going everywhere. Dude, you remember the movie Carrie?
Yeah.
When she's covered in blood? That's how he looks when he's done with these motherfuckers.
Damn.
Yes. And then he gets destroyed, like he'll get fucking shot in the chest. His suit will rip open, the chest will rip open, you'll see the adamantium and you'll slowly seal the healing. And then the suit stays ripped open. It's like about fucking time. So yeah, it's
nice.
I'm liking it, dude. Now I know it's not Ratchet and Clank, so
why can't they make animated movies like they make game trailers?
Because they're on crack, Adrian. That's probably the only possible reason. But yeah, I mean, you have the ability. You have the who the fuck knows? OG Dirte, what up, Mike and Adrian? I recently went to Barnes & Noble, looking for a new Marvel encyclopedia, but I ended up with a DC Comics encyclopedia. Damn, dude, that's like you went out to get Five Guys, and then instead you came home with Taco Bell. It's still good, but I mean, I'm sure the DC encyclopedia is probably awesome. Sadly, they are closing Barnes & Nobles. They have a lot of comic stuff. I also grabbed Marvel Civil War comic. Adrian, Disney, watching your hidden gem because Exodus is in X-Men 97. Look at that shit. Of course they're watching his hidden gem. The Champion of the Universe is the final boss for Marvel Fighting Token game. I did finish Spider Noir. I enjoyed it. This weekend, I'm going to go see the Masters of the Universe with my older brother. He told me that my aunt took us back in the day to see it in 1987. And then the 86 Transformers movie. You know, they're re-releasing the Transformers 86 movie in theaters with like upgraded visuals and shit. Remember the old movie from the 80s? Yeah. The animated one, and people glaze that shit online for some reason.
Right.
And then Devin Vestal says, AWAB guys, could I make a request suggestion? You guys should get a Discord going for the community. Then you could do things like have watch parties so we could watch along with you. You guys are awesome as always. So I appreciate that. You know, I've heard the Discord request. I mean, I can tell you that it's something that it will happen at some point, and I don't want to sound like, like I'm putting you out, but it will happen at some point. A Discord, because I've had that request a handful of times, and it probably would be something where we do some watch-alongs, but not right away. All right, TikTok, couple TikTok comments. So we talked about Apocalypse last week. So, and I'm sorry, not Apocalypse. We talked about Doomsday and the lack of build for Doomsday, Adrian. Right, that they always you need more build. And I think that there's people that will just complain about fucking anything. You give them a free lunch, it was too hot, right? Whatever the fuck. People just complain to complain. And some of the things they're saying here, I almost want to just ask them, are you fucking stupid? I don't know if that's a fair thing to ask somebody, because I think stupid's like being dead. Right? Like, you don't realize you're stupid. It just affects everybody else around you, right? It's like, oh my God, we miss you. You're like, I'm fucking taking a nap. What you talking about? It's like that. You don't realize you're stupid. You just are, you know? So they say things like, the movie's not going to be good because there's no build and blah, 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 blah. Well, good news for them or bad news. I do research, Adrian. So I researched some of the greatest villains in movie history. And would you believe that there's my top 11 here, I don't know why I picked 11, have had no build. And they are. I would challenge someone to give me 11 villains that were bigger and better than these villains on screen, okay? Right. So we got, some of these go back to the 80s, Adrian. Some of them are present day, but this is a perfect example. This is proof why it doesn't fucking matter how much build Doom has before Avengers Doomsday, because Doom is a savage. Doom, if done the right way, is going to come in and fuck shit up. Do you agree or disagree with that?
Absolutely. Besides that, isn't all this talking about Doomsday a build?
There you go. Also, besides that, pre-MCU, pre-connected universe, did we ever have build for a villain? No. Did we have post-credit scenes back in the fucking 70s and 80s?
Definitely didn't.
Did we have a cinematic universe of 20 films before a big, team up? No. So for years we did it. So here are 11. Why did I pick 11? Because I fucking like the number 11, okay? 11 of the best movie villains in history that had absolutely no build. We go back to Rocky, Ivan Drago. Remember this?
Yep.
You can't win.
Yep.
The big old bad Russian, no build at all, okay? The evil stepmother from fucking Cinderella, Snow White, one of those movies. Scar from Lion King, no build.
Right.
Jafar, remember the Terminator?
Oh, yeah.
The first Terminator. Dude, Arnold's a badass motherfucker.
Yep.
No build at all. You ever seen a movie called Silence of the Lambs?
Oh, yeah.
Hannibal Lecter?
Yep.
Dude, he was on screen for like 4 minutes. Savage. Magneto in the first X-Men movie, no build. You ever seen the Titanic?
Yeah.
Did the iceberg have any build before that movie, Adrian? The big old bad iceberg? No build at all. Did the garbage in Wall-E have any build?
No.
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 The last two are, I think, probably the top 2 movie villains, period. Okay? You remember the movie The Dark Knight?
Yep.
You remember Heath Ledger's Joker?
Yep.
Hands down, I don't know that there's in these two here, I think you could, flip-flop for 1 and 2. The Joker, the amount of build the Joker had? Remember at the end of Batman Begins, you saw a Joker card?
Right.
And that was it. That's more build. No, we actually saw Doom's hood in Fantastic Four First Step. So you can, and the mask. You had that, and Heath Ledger's Joker, to this day, there's nobody that comes close to that on a villain standpoint. And then the ultimate, again, I can flip-flop these 1 and 2, but today I'm saying this is number 1, Darth Vader. Darth Vader is one of the most iconic characters, period, and I do think the best villain in movie history. There was no build. It just showed up, breathing and shit like the fucking fat guy at the movie theaters.
Yep.
With the red lightsaber, fucking shit up.
There you go.
No build. So all you people out there, what do I mean, you people? You stupid fucks that think we need build for a villain to have a good movie. When decades upon decades upon decades, we'd had movies with no build. So I think the build's gonna happen within the first few minutes of this movie. I think, to your point, Adrian, the build has been happening.
Yeah.
When they announced Doom, and when Robert Downey Jr. showed up dressed in green at Comic-Con, pulled off the mask, that was the build.
Yep.
The trailers, the teaser, here's your build. When Thor's praying to fucking Odin before going to battle in the 30-second teaser trailer, Doom's a problem.
Right.
When Cyclops is ripping off his visors and full optic blast is happening, it's a problem. When Xavier and Magneto are scared, it's a fucking problem. So the build's there.
Right.
People go, well, the Infinity Stones, we knew that it was Thanos. No, we didn't. You mean, someone said this, some stupid person said this. We knew ever since the first Captain America movie. Okay, Adrian. The Tesseract. Did we know day one that there was an Infinity Stone inside the Tesseract? Absolutely not. Did we know when Loki had that scepter when he was taking over New York that there was the Mind Stone in there? No, we didn't. Also, just because the stones are in there, does that necessarily mean that Thanos is there? I mean, I know he has that one story, right? But is he the only one that's ever fucking chased an Infinity Stone?
Apparently not, because they hit him all over the fucking multiverse.
There you go. And then the last thing I'd say is, how do you know there hasn't been build? We got a multiverse. We got timelines being pruned, right? Which we saw in Loki and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
In Doctor Strange, in the Multiverse of Madness, they introduce incursions.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's one of the biggest elements of the Secret Wars story are incursions. It's the last incursion. And Doom was heavily involved in terminating planets, terminating timelines, right? In the comics. So how do we know that these things, when we do watch Doomsday, won't tie into Doctor Doom, right? What if Doctor Doom's responsible for the incursions?
Right.
What if he's actually responsible for some shit at the TVA and pruning? You just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't know that there was all this Thanos build until we saw Infinity War.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not going to convince me. People, you're wrong. No, I'm not. You're fucking wrong, bitch. Or maybe we just have a difference of opinions. But those are the top. I challenge someone to give me 11 villains that had build that were the best villains in movie history. Give them to me. Who are they? Who the fuck are they? You don't have them because they don't exist. So anyways, that's my story, Adrian. I'm sticking to it. But it's been a fun week. Adrian is teasing other stuff more than any other week. So you must got some shit for us, dude.
I got some shit.
So
dude.
Don't miss other stuff later this week. How do you get access to other stuff? You join the Legion of Interns. It's $4.99 a month. It's on YouTube. It's on Spotify. And you get an extra podcast every single week where we dip into the other stuff. I'll tell you this. So Adrian's building his up. I don't even know what it is. I don't want to know. I'll give you a little teaser of what I'm going to talk about on other stuff, since we have Disclosure Day coming out this week, which I'm leaving, by the way, I'm leaving Thursday early to go see that motherfucker.
I'll probably be there with you.
There we go. We'll be talking about that next week, Disclosure Day. But this week on other stuff, I am going to basically preview that movie, talk about everything we know about that movie. And also, is there any conspiracy there? I mean, is Spielberg... Is he fucking phoning home to ET? Is that how he's getting his goddamn information? What's he doing? I don't know. Is this a soft tease of a real Disclosure Day? I don't know.
Maybe he's gonna reveal that ET was his kid.
Maybe.
That he's really fucking alien.
Right.
Who knows?
There was no build for ET, right? Fuck out of here.
I still never seen a movie.
You got, dude. It's the second part of Close Encounters, dude. They dropped ET off when they came down with the ship. I'm telling you, it's all connected. This movie's the third in the trilogy. You watch. Okay. Fucking build these nuts. That's what you can build. So, anyways, well, Adrian, it was fun. I had fun. Did you have fun today? I had a lot of fun, you know. And that's why the real name of this show. One day we'll change it to this, but not now. You know. Fun with Mike and Adrian.
There we go.
Because you're going to show up, you're going to have fun, and it's going to be with Mike and Adrian. Yeah. That's a guarantee.
Or somebody else is going to have fun because you're not having fun.
There you go.
Either way, somebody's having fun up in this bitch.
That's right. So anyways, well, Adrian, it was fun.
Yep.
Thanks for coming out.
Yes, sir.
Guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you next motherfucking week right here on Only Comics.
Peace.